Hei, 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 yang ada di sana.
Most reserved, macro-focused attack side teams against far and away our craziest team at the tournament.
Yeah, that's what makes this so compelling and why I do feel like with Devi, he is right. It's about who makes those mistakes and when those mistakes come through. And as you see those rounds kind of lay out, it leaves a lot of room.
Halo semuanya, selamat datang di Watch Party PRX lawan WOL, aka Valorant ya. Buat pecinta Valorant, boleh kalian tulis di live chat teman-teman, ramaikan lalu kita hitam, maksudnya ramaikan lalu kita dukung siapapun yang dukung. Ya rata-rata pakai PRX lah ya. Mari kumpul, marilah kumpul, marilah kumpul, kumpulin mari.
在之前的国际赛事中，其实看到你是去操刀了非常多的决斗者的。那最近再次能够玩到决斗是什么样的感受？以及玩到雷兹的话，今天你的对手是静，你觉得你的雷兹和他相比是什么样的？
我觉得能在国际赛场上再拿瑞兹，其实很开心吧。就以前没有证明的事情。然后我觉得静他的雷兹确实一直都很厉害吧，所以我觉得我没有办法跟他比。 所以他还一直都是最好的。
Very excited to play on Race again on the international stage. Actually, I think I'm proving something I didn't finish like in the past. But speaking of the race combat with Jing, I say Jing plays better since he's such a big-time race player, highly skilled.
Oh, very humble answer. Thank you very much and good luck today.
Now, we all know that the slogan for this PRX team has been track by track. And it's been a long road for this team to get to this point. Quite the journey. And actually, we have a good visual representation of this. And I got a little train horn here. So why don't we go ahead? Where do we start things off?
Yeah, exactly. At the beginning of the year, we saw a PRX that missed on that first event of the year because kickoff was not the best for them. And of course, we saw an event without them, even though Pacific got the win.
But then stage one, it also started really rough. Down 0-2 at this station. And then they pull through and make a change on the fly, switch up the rolling stock, and they pull in Pat Men, this new player coming into the roster, controversially kind of breaking up the bands. But then they have a massive turnaround, do well in playoffs, qualify to Toronto. That whistle is very loud, GP. And now, the last station they've made it to is the top three, rolling all the way through here, expressing their way towards what could be their last station. Can they pull into Union Station here in Toronto with a victory at this tournament? That's the question now that remains for PRX.
So the train has arrived? Have they arrived at the station? Because I saw the train there, but, is that the PRX train?
I mean, assuming so. Although it's interesting because I'm using this train whistle for it, but that clearly looked like one of those high-speed trains where you don't need the
Well, it didn't look like a steam train, which is all that would have a whistle like that. Thank you. Yeah. But, I mean, okay. Analogy, I think they've arrived in Toronto, they pulled into Exhibition Go, they're one stop away from Union, from making it all the way, winning Toronto. 3 people will have liked that. Let's move on.
Hey, but you know what? For those 3 people, that content's for you. This train content's for you. And if anything, PRX, they're in on it too, right? They've been feeling it. They've really been hitting these shots, Kukuga. It has been incredible to see this team not just play with their patented W gaming aggression, but to also see some more nuance and layers to the squad, which is exactly what we were hoping to see from this squad.
And it's another team that so far has had a flawless playoffs run, going up against the likes of G2 and Sentinel. And as we're saying, even though sometimes they make those mistakes, they will have a very big advantage and they will throw it. It doesn't matter. We heard it from the VAI the other day. They just take it round by round. If they make a big mistake, they just throw it under the rug and just move on to the next one. And apparently, that takes you to top 3, so keep doing it.
Nice.
It is very classic PRX. I think the way they've won their last couple of games, because what they're doing is, especially on their attack sides, just the way that they fight in the post ones, the way that they're playing up against these retake heavy teams like G2 absolutely cooks them, because most teams have preset util to fight deeper into these sites when they're really into playing that retake. But PRX is on every different off angle, swinging off each other, shooting amazing, and they're just winning all of these games in part because of that, in part because of the momentum of this train, and now another step away from making it to a final.
Yeah, which is incredible. And of course, look, I mean, the gains aren't just happening on the stage. They're happening in the gym as well for Forsaken, as you can see in those biceps there. But he's been hyping this team up. He has been keeping them in the game. And we always, Kukuka, attribute Forsaken for being just one of the most versatile players, so talented. But it's great to see him step into that leadership role here for PRX.
It doesn't matter what role he's playing. I agree, the leadership is very important. To me, it's also very important that he shows up the
Lawan dan
best.
upper final. Kita lihat siapa yang bakal masuk lower final, dan kita lihat siapa yang bakal masuk grand final yang pertama. Let's see, my friend.
OT and win the last map.
He's been known as a flexible player throughout his career, but now he's narrowed the agent pool a little here at Toronto, playing almost exclusively the smokes, just showing us one map on his Sova, and I've loved the way he's been playing on those agents. I think he's improved a lot in terms of his utility. From hearing the team talk about him and their run as a whole, he's also improved a lot as a leader and as a teammate for PRX.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Now in the post-match interview, Forsaken had an opportunity to speak about IGLing and what's important on that stage. Let's take a listen.
It seems like now you're one of the leaders of your team. Do you enjoy being a leader of this PRX train?
Enjoy, of course, because I mean, of course, it's gonna be hard for me to IGL and like get frag maybe at the same time, but I'll always trust my things, you know. So even though I don't need frag.
Wih, main frag turun tangan, coy. Siapa yang gak main?
Well, there you heard from the man himself, and whoa, there's a lot of trust there in the fans as well, because here's the results of the MasterCard fan poll. We asked you guys which team you think is going to be the first to qualify, and a resounding 76.4% believe PRX are on their road to glory.
I think the PRX have been leading most of our polls, if not all of them, but can you blame them? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I have to agree with the fans. Here are the predictions on screen. Every single one of us went for PRX in this match. That is a shocker, but they are definitely a favorite.
I will change my prediction then. I want to go with Wolves.
Oh man, that is nuts.
Oh, something gak main, Jing.
Well, it's not necessarily a plat chat guarantee, but you know, we avoided the fire.
Something gak main,
cok. All right, everyone, we're now in to the final weekend of competition here, and we got 4 teams that are going to be taking that stage, and they have an opportunity to walk away with a trophy. It's anyone's game, because day 11 of Masters Toronto starts right now.
It's been a while since we've been top 4, the last one being champions, LA. PRX were in the final and they end up losing to EG.
PRX obviously heartbreaking for them, heart-wrenching.
Similar situation happening here. PRX are 1 step away from the final. We've got G2 here who have recently lost the final. I just think if we were able to get there, we know how to win the final. So I think G2 should step aside and let us handle things.
Tinggal 4 tim lagi, coy.
Been a couple years since Tokyo. That's the last time I played them.
Sama-sama harapan tier setiap region ini.
We're excited to see what the new roster's about.
Valen is an IGL I respect a lot. He's young, but he's able to come up with great strategy, and he's able to command his teammates and take the lead at times.
Sit on the stage right now and have maximum belief in each other and in yourself that we're gonna win today.
When I was coming up as a player, I would watch a lot of Boaster, but as I kind of grew into this role, going to all the international events, I kind of found my own sauce. But right now, I'm just trying to be Valen. I don't really want to be other IGL.
Valen can shoot, maybe, a little bit better than me, but I don't need it. I got my boys behind me. I don't want this to be an easy series. I want it to be a match to be remembered.
We're going to make sure our game is going to be the last one they play.
我觉得刚开始的话，可能我们赢下出现瑞士人，可能大家会觉得我们是黑马。那我觉得到现在目前为止，我们该证明的也证明了，所以我相信他应该对我们看起来是一支强队。
They've certainly made a believer of me now, Lauren.
对于我而言，我肯定相信我们自己的队伍，狼队一定是很厉害的队伍吧。但我觉得每个人想法不一样，我觉得你也可以继续保持你的想法，但我会证明给你。
I think it's gonna be a banger match. Wolves, I hope we can yell at each other later on stage, and I hope we can make the match more entertaining.
首先，我觉得 PRX 跟我们蛮相近的嘛，都挺激进的，也能稳，所以我觉得这场对局肯定很精彩，所以我也很期待。
Hello, bro.
No one can copy
Come on,
my
friend.
play style. I think we're gonna be scarier. You like to play crazy? I will show you how to be crazy.
Thank you. I show you how to be crazy, anjay. PRX anjay. Let's go my bro.
Wolves.
Jauh juga mainnya.
It's one of the greatest underdog stories ever told on a global stage versus the uncrowned kings of Valorant. It's time for the upper bracket final and to decide who is one step closer to a Masters trophy.
PRX and Wolves have both won on incredible runs, but it's a question of what a wolf is to a train. It feels like this is the opportunity for PRX. They came up from nothing really at the beginning of stage one, missing out on Bangkok to make their third global final and maybe finally have a chance to lift a trophy.
And Wolves from going to taking down fan favorites to becoming one of them. And let's take a look at the Omen map select now, because PRX is going to be banned in Haven and Wolves banned Icebox. So information that is not displayed here. Wolves won the coin toss and decided to put PRX in the situation of ban in Haven, since both of the teams do not want to ban it. So do you think that gives them a little bit of an advantage, maybe?
I think it does. They get maps that they're going to be pretty happy with. I think especially ending on the decider of Split. Don't get me wrong, PRX have been good there. They've been explosive, but I love what Wolves have been showing on the attack side.
Select nama PRX Lotus, Wolf, Essen, Shader map, Split. Wow.
And it's the map that both of the teams have picked the most. I think that it will be a very, very fair decider. But it all starts with looks and what these two teams can bring onto the table. We saw Wolves having a shaky start against Gen G. Is it going to be the same against the PRX that will probably be super hungry for that final?
And you can hear the crowd.
Super sangat-sangat ini aktif orangnya.
The moment certainly does not escape that young man right there, who's looking to make history, not just for himself, but for VCT China to be another team to punch their ticket to a grand finals that is not EDG. So for SoFat Baby and the rest of the squad, this is a massive moment and a massive achievement for this squad. But across that stage, they know exactly what meets them. It's a freight train that's showing no sign of stopping. And Mimi, they could very well plow through their opponent if they're not careful.
I imagine most of the fans here cheering the names of the Wolves players, rooting on that team. A lot of them probably didn't even know who these guys were coming into the tournament. They are a squad of relatively unknown players that have stepped up in Toronto, have made themselves known against a PRX who has always been the sweetheart of this community, have always been a fan favorite, the team that everyone wants to see make it to a final.
very weird territory that we're in. Typically when PRX is on that stage, no matter what, they are the fan favorite. And granted, a lot of people still going for them, Kukuka.
Yeah.
But there is that energy in the arena where people are thinking
Alex
themselves.
is smiling. It's one of those. That's because Lotus still has not started. But yeah, it's going to be definitely one of the most important matches for PRX to the date. Yes, we've seen it in finals before, but after Pacific got their first winner, after it was not them, it's been we are waiting for you to be back.
Ngeri ya. Gila. Ngeri cok, Wolfnya kuat juga aja. PRX juga kuat. Let's see. Auto select langsung cok. Okay, race versus race.
Yeah, they struggle a lot against Team Liquid
Cuman beda di Viper ya.
on their second half, on their attacking half. The retakes and the way that they
sama
control the
Killjoy
map
beda aja.
has been very, very good for them. If they can replicate what they did in that matchup, it should be a win for them. But the score has been extremely tight.
Oh iya lupa gua ngeliatin ke
a
Discord.
convincing win here on Lotus.
Absolutely. This whole series, I'm looking at how PRX deal with Spring. He's arguably the most important player in the server on their attacking sides with how he's prioritizing, getting into lurk positions, affecting the team's macro in these late rounds. I want to see PRX being proactive in clearing space, flushing out these lurks, not letting Spring get away with the shenanigans he's been up to all tournament.
Yeah, and at the same time, you have to think of what Wolves have to care about. Something, if he gets on with that operator easily, they're going to have a very good chance of snowballing this defense.
That's the scary part, right? If he's able to get that op online, you need to shut him down. Otherwise, he will run roughshod all over you there.
He absolutely will. So much pressure for these Wolves players. The style that they play, that slow, structured Valorant. I think it befits staying calm in these situations, but...
Ah, fuck, what the hell, bro?
GB, this is going to be a big one for them.
Oh yeah, Toronto! Are you ready for the upper bracket final? And let's go ahead and send it over to two of the greatest of all time on the mic. It's Pansy and Hypoc.
Thank you so much, GB.
Okay, go, let's go.
We have to kind of touch on what the desk was talking about there. This stylistic head-to-head is something to be excited for.
Wah, ini bagus nih milik casterannya.
In the lead up to this, talking about a similar play style, but actually PRX almost have the recipe to break apart what Wolves have kind of made the cornerstone of their playbook, right? This slow creeping default, looking for a gap somewhere. PRX are the team that time and time again
Singapore lawan China.
on the fly to really disrupt that sort of gameplay.
And again, for PRX, I feel like everyone's looking like they're the underdogs in this.
Which is crazy, right?
Hey, do you remember them in Champs Finals? Yeah, they lost it. I mean, the perennial second place team.
Normal
Sure,
ini
they
aja.
are a grand finals quality team. They have to prove it once again today. Up against probably the biggest Cinderella story run we've had in a long time.
I mean, poetic, right? Almost matching EG's run.
Very much so.
Could be the ones to gatekeep once more. Bit of presence shown outside C initially. Devi actually taking a ton of damage there. He's got to back away and respect this now. 22 HP. Not sure if it was confirmed on the side of Wolves, but certainly something to consider as the round progresses.
Langsung low banget anjir.
He's actually relinquished all control here.
I mean, if it carries on in this fashion, Wolves
Wah,
have got a lovely beginning. And obviously for PRX, it looks like they want to try and clear some of those question marks. Work behind this. It's taken a lot of utility, though. See, the Paranoia went through, the Haunt went through. A lot of their kit got invested to clear that.
Big retake
ini.
off the table here. Wolves rightfully so. Must have known that they found a point of weakness here, but why you tucked into a lurk? Does he get dug out? Forsaken, lazy clearance on the first hit. Jing, next one up.
Yeah, look.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Seconds, ridiculous.
Okay,
now they've got a comfortable post plant. Remember all that utility the PRX put to clear out towards rubble. Now, not going to have it. Going to have to go back in, guns in hand. Nice.
Spring whiff.
A lot of bodies to clear just on the site. Wants to just cycle back up. See if that baby has got to. Oh, it's lovely from Wolves. A dreamy beginning. He's out of his chair. And a real statement of intent from Wolves here.
Convincing start to kick off Lotus, and these sort of set plays towards rubble are exactly what I'm talking about. When PRX try and find the timing to match the investment, it looks a little punchy, sure, because they don't find anything, but has to dig out players like Spring, potentially Lysor, somebody.
Oh, that's crazy, that's crazy. I know it, it's crazy.
They did try and dig him out, but said, a lazy clearance from Forsaken, and Jing just couldn't stand up to the task.
And I do want to kind of highlight something that was discussed earlier in the day, the fact that these at one point have been scrim partners too. Some real awareness between these two sides. So I'd love to see if we continue to see this, these gaps being found, these moments to potentially find ways to pressure each other. So looking at this purchase, plenty coming out for Wolves and a very light reinvestment here from PaperX. So just that Sheriff for Divide. Otherwise, all classics. And so far, you're going to be looking at Wolves going through the protocol list. Mike Wright, try and keep this clean. They can afford to lose Spring, but they probably wouldn't.
Sure. I mean, the riskiest rounds versus PaperX are these anti-ecos. Spring.
Wah, kaget tiba-tiba 5 orang aja. Langsung mereka stuck.
From round 1, only a Sheriff.
Rasi.
Calculated loss on the side of Wolves.
And again, it's huge information. You've seen maybe 2,
Coy larkingnya bahaya banget sih,
there.
sumpah.
You're going to read that as a stack. And they've already got pretty much the green light and a very aggressive post-plant hold. They want to stake their claim in some area of this. Make it harder work for PaperX. Make them invest a little bit more. I don't mind that at all. As long as they play together, it can get risky. Oh, you got to lock in on that one. Easy now. As we're in a 2v2 and Juicy's down low. This is the danger of PaperX. You're never quite out of the woods. It's Forsaken going to get the nice little upgrade here too. Juicy's done really well to fight Jing, but Forsaken needs 4 to do this again.
Ah, timing.
Unreal already. This sort of explosive play in the second round.
Like I said, there's always a threat in these anti-ecos for PaperX. We play up
Tebak skor kecewa mau nonton WDRP malah bikin jadi besok. Sibuk kali coy.
Fat BB, ever the hero so far in Toronto.
Forsaken udah bagus banget loh, nge-whip tiba-tiba tuh. Forsaken nge-whip coy. Ini bisa nge-whip dia tuh.
Come back into this now with a broken purchase. See what? Opportunity here for Spring to do some work with a scope. Outside of that, YU and Lysol just down on pistols. Can expect Wolves to maybe try and pick up a kill here on the back of some aggression.
And I quite like the conditioning early on as well, Mike. It's been this kind of constant lead through towards C, a little bit of straight through middle, but they haven't really tested this A side. So again, if you're starting to get a bit of a read into that as well, something you're going to start reacting to. Again, you look at the spread here so far, depending on just that Omen cycling those smokes. So a lot of pressure, but already re-clear comes in, doesn't quite catch YU towards middle, and Patman wants that information.
Alarm bot though from YU posted up pretty deep. I think on the back of dealing with that, they're reading PaperX rotating away, so it might just be a committed B hit here. So Patman will be called upon. Forced away by the utility, actually using up close to first. He's found a tactical smoke there.
What the fuck just happened?
Gets involved. Nice damage on the first, but a quick trade. The pressure.
Si peluru kedengeran tuh. Ah, mantap.
Clearing out the B side. Sufat BB a little too late to the party here with 25 seconds.
Dia player bagus juga nanya. Sufat ini bagus banget ya. EDG harusnya ngajak dia nih, Cok. Bagus main dia. Asli. Sama menarik juga orangnya.
And there it is. Comfortable in the end, but PaperX.
Tidur, tak boleh tidur.
Fat BB positioned as the late round piece here. Was played out of this because I'm sure it was Juicy. It was caught on the reload here. Really rough timing for him. Yeah, I mean it's just nobody just comfortably that can swing onto that angle to bail him out. Even there, I mean, see Fat BB another consolation potentially to find. But just didn't find it. Juicy already on the showstopper. Stinger into round 4.
I'll find you.
Expect too much of a pace shift here, but I mean, on the talking about early round protocols here, PaperX dealing with the turret nice and early here. That's a set piece out.
Timing. What the fuck? What the fuck is that shot, bro?
It's stunning.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
This is that evolution to PaperX we love. Now getting to
Jangan
right, it's not just that mechanical talent, that aggression.
Not hitting up.
They have these little set pieces they like to run every now and then, and it wasn't overly complex.
Sharp. What the fuck? Hey, what the fuck is that, bro?
What's that? Catching them asleep at the wheel there, Mike. That's going to haunt them. And an overstep. Unnecessary. This feels like a fumble, Mike. Now it looks like Patman might be the saving grace to this, though.
Lysol's read it.
Lysol has read it. Oh,
aduh, ketahuan.
this is a
Lawan
fumble
dua dong.
for PRX and a gutting one because it was a brilliant start.
2 players caught sleeping, and the spike is there as well. All they needed to do was reinforce that hold.
1v2 situation. Apakah bisa
To
clutch?
dissect that setup just outside C.
30 seconds left.
Actually find themselves a plant here. Why are you down at 15 HP? You get the lockdown off this as well, you're right.
Okay, a little bit of tilt as well for YU, but it's Devi wading back through towards the site. Problem is there's utility in the way. Gonna find it tricky. Position now given away, and you can see Lysol should be the checkmate. There's that layer of util from YU. Isolated and alone.
Okay.
And a devastating mistake there from PRX. Credit to Wolves for re-engaging, but they cannot be dropping the ball like that.
Was it the timing on the smoke? I mean, this is exactly the sort of thing I talked about before.
Udah bagus mainnya, Cok.
PRX being aggressive, picking apart this slow default and look for control.
Alamak, nyemuk di heaven, Jo.
Smoke drop.
Kena timing anjir. Smoke di open.
That is outrageous to see somebody caught off guard like that. On top of the box.
Aduh, 4 second, Jo. Apa, Jo. Hell, bro. Biasaan lah ya.
But back in, PRX have a very strong mental.
Gak bisa makan tomat polos, jir, what the hell? Tomatnya tapi ada saus.
So PRX needs to kind of reignite a little bit of that focus here. You can't get lazy in this. You've got to stay.
Whoa. Something. Hold on, man.
Work, but can be warded away, and we've seen these slower defaults coming out from Wolves, doing the diligent work, right? They've been doing what is necessary.
I mean, even here, damage trade-off have come out on top. Weaken something. See, the purchase not there for PRX. And Prowler will force something even deeper here. Ooh, how do I send through? Juicy's potentially going to be... Oh, actually, the TP comes across from Lysol, so they'll still have somebody to back him up initially. And actually, Lockdown invested in fully respecting Santiago once again. They're aware of the threat of that previous round,
You've got to. I mean, PRX, you said it right. Those are the sort of rounds that sometimes they look the scariest in almost. But for now, Wolves finding stability here in the post plant. They've still got to keep it in mind that there is danger. Plenty through Waterfall. 4-1 split on the retake now. Juicy turns attention. Smokes great from them.
What?
Batman's got 2.
Batman, what the hell?
Maybe a chance. It feels like it's...
I want to see that Batman feel, bro.
These opportunities passing by for them. As it looks like 4-1 will be on the board. Can't wait to see a timeout soon enough here. As something's on 1. Got to get locked in. As this has passed them by here. Silver lining, the best they can hope for as Wolves off to the ideal start. Mike, look, I know all of us have been enjoying this Wolves run. I think most of us thought this is where it probably ends. But you could argue someone said that about Gen G too. But at 4-1, I'm paying attention.
I mean, I remember coming into that Gen G series thinking, if they could pull this off,
that's the one.
Because they still effectively had a lifeline in terms of dropping. There's no elimination on the line. And even here now, it would be such a big sigh of relief to escape that once more.
Now use them.
4-1 to kick off Lotus here. PRX, I mean, you don't ever really humble PRX. They will continue pressuring like this. Odin investment here from Saban, though, may lead you to believe it's a slower round. TP's actually stuck here, bold in approach.
And that was pinged so aware of this, and whatever the set plan was, feels like PRX read that.
Well, I think it's on the back of seeing 2 or 3 bodies swing out.
Sering banget pasti, soalnya sering banget TP di situ aja. Ini ketahuan lah.
Side of the hold, but Forsaken shuts that down.
Certainly not, but a 3v5, I want to see discipline from PRX here. I don't want to see fumbles. I don't want to see mistakes.
Great isolation.
It certainly was. Now, Forsaken is going to do some good chip damage as well. See that baby down on only 26. Spring's position given away. Look where the spot. Oh, what is that?
Okay.
Ridiculous. And a 2v3 is not impossible. So they are just gunning it, right? They are running their little legs off straight towards C. They're going to leave one behind.
Waduh, kena bit ult. Nabel dong.
Tap of the spikes. Drawn out the ultimate from Divide.
I mean,
Nightfall here from the plant as well.
Oh, the pathing. This is now getting really dangerous, but YU set up the motion. No, Divide very diligent. PRX.
What is he doing, bro?
You're starting to see a little bit of that synergy shining.
And the composure as well. Don't
Ini mau fake B, plan B. Nyatanya ya udah gagal ya.
Really quickly and credit
Oh, ini nyata dulu, ambil Odin dulu.
Potentially something up towards Evan. There was a couple of people charging out, like you said, instantly pinged.
Cek Odin deh.
Again, you can't really fault the approach here, but bold to stick a TP into the back lines.
And it got close, but I like seeing those fundamentals come together for PRX though, right? Doubling up, even in that chaos of potential plant on towards that B side. No, they pop the ult, they still stay very close. And credit to Divide, I know it's only one kill, but him catching YU basically keeps them safe. Otherwise, it's this kill right here from Divide. I find that to be the most imperative of them all. Very heads up, but maybe feeling they would try to have left the player behind, inserted the player. Still not fussed though, apparently. Still chilling.
I mean, you got to be happy leading 4-2 here.
Yeah.
Oh, panas sih coy. Selama seberdirian coy, anjir. Panas ya anjir seberdirian ini.
Well, that's close to a full purchase here. It's Lysol down on the Guardian. The Wolves, Forsaken, actually tagged up there. I'm not sure if he's actually confirmed any damage on the side of Wolves. Activity once more as well, and active clearance out past Mound.
This could be nasty. Actually sees
kena
the paint shell is
Okay, NT.
How the hell did they get two back?
You could say almost favouring PRX in that regard, but something going to be played in here.
Like that, this man hits those shots. Mechanically
bagus banget, Jing.
He's trying to read what they wanted. Similar scenes to before though.
Nampak.
And YU.
Kelihatan.
Trying to work the map here. 2v3. Okay, testing. Okay, that's... I mean, they're playing such high risk, Mike. It scares the life out of me sometimes. 20 seconds and a 1v2 Divide and Forsaken.
Harus komit kemana? Ke B
Where are we
dia.
off to now?
Komit ke B anjir.
14 seconds. His options are so limited.
10 seconds left.
Timing.
Both here. Surely not. Yeah, he's got to go for it. No chance. Well handled by PRX. Closing in on the scoreline.
So you've got to look for that composure again, building up a little bit of a cushion in terms of the finances. That's where you look towards.
Enak kali tuh, Cok. Kira mau dilempar ntar ngepick ya.
Again, Jing finding two here to open. Beautiful.
Lebih gurih daripada juicy gitu.
Wolves actually going to be the ones to pump the brakes a little bit. I'm out round 8 again. Decent sample size, I guess, already in the first half here. Maybe a little bit of an adjustment towards the latter rounds. See, no purchase going to be available here for Wolves, so ideally looking towards round 9 here in terms of any game plan adjustment. And I guess actually in that regard, the first time PRX have really been able to catch their breath.
It has been kind of in their face. Credit to PRX for being able to learn on the fly. Again, this kind of like 6th and 7th round, obviously, have been the ones to give them the stability here. But I do want to see what the reaction is from Wolves. Again, it does feel like that almost no-go zone once you've got that Odin spam coming down. It's not as lethal as it could be. I mean, if you throw in a Michael with it, right, we've seen what that can do. But still, as it stands, it's kind of cut off those options towards A, it feels like, kind of pressuring back towards B, those C hits. But it's the re-aggressors from PRX. Very little fear, even in those high-risk scenarios. We're a bit more used to it, I guess, at this point, and so will they be now. At 3 to 4, just Sheriffs. And a couple of classics.
I mean, bigger picture-wise, both of these teams have so many reps this year on Lotus. I think it's 14 for PRX and 11 or 12 for Wolves.
Yeah.
So even here on the attacking half, I mean, if you come out with a lead, doesn't matter what it is, you've got to feel really good about yourself. So we'll have to ride this out on a handful of Sheriffs. Something going to tuck himself in between these smokes.
Waduh.
Oh, it's nasty.
Ketahuan.
And Divide drawing all eyes on him. It is only pistols, but it's Device
sendiri anjir,
play easily done. Happy with that. Confidence builders there.
Something diem doang aja. Something diem gue disitu, Cok. Kalau dia ada aja udah. Kalau ada gagal baru dia ini kan niatnya. Wow, what a spray transfer, bro. Artinya diem jeria, Cok. Diem doang ngalah. Padahal dapet udah panas udah lah, biarkan dia aja, Cok. Waduh. 3 orang nih, Cok. War nih, perang nih.
Look at this outrageous approach.
Ente.
Absolutely red. Jing gets backhanded there, and they couldn't close down on any of the kills.
I mean, 2 pings on the reveal. Not sure how much that box just sponged, but no damage.
Face your fear.
Coming through, it's only really Fat BB who's taken a hit here down to 35 HP. Nightfall might actually be a bit of a red herring.
How much can Patman be expected to do here?
Ulti dibalas ulti ya.
Huge ult as well.
Dapat semua anjir.
Forsaken. Oh, they read it so smart. As soon as that Nightfall caught how many? 4 players?
Wah, tadi dia coba ulti siap itu kena semua itu forsek. Semua itu forsek kan. Oh, dapat ultinya.
But the rotations are here. Device back over. He was solid before this nice high-low setup. Be very difficult to break. Horn not there.
Wow, big
ready. There it is. Forces them off. Spring. They seem so prepared for these holds. They've seen Patman as well. Position now given, and look at YU.
He's got so much space to play into.
His lurk is so nasty. And at this point, they want to pivot. They want to go back towards B. It does put in towards something. And Spring.
Wow, Spring.
It's gorgeous.
It's so good, bro.
Lurks on lurks, but something still stands. Caught in between a rock and a hard place. Where do they go? Back towards C. Safety on that C site. You don't fancy walking into something like this. So the plant's in, and he's left in a 1v4.
Aman nyari anjir. Untung ngeplan anjing.
Make an honest go of this here.
Pura-pura nggak lihat.
On the X-ray, YU already wrapping him. He's got a turret here to play contact as well.
It's okay, something.
To pop something in the back of the head, no.
Dengeran
sound cue, regardless. I think now relaying that information. Yeah, that comes through.
God, his positioning.
Yeah, this is just, again, probably sitting back and watching this, Alex not going to be happy about this spray into the smoke with the audience. It's begging somebody to walk on it.
Yep.
And Spring just comes alive.
And it feels like this was a whole book in one round, right? Chapter by chapter, at this beginning, the box apparently being on Wolves' side. And then you had the TP coming in, you had the Nightfall coming out. This all happened. All of this was in the same round. And again, that paranoia being just tilted up, it felt like they were so aware. There's the walk on the
Patman's on a reload. So Forsaken fully committed towards that. They're both spamming into this. I mean, there's an opportunity to potentially bait into that. One person sprays, but
what the fucking hell? That's big, bro.
Rippy around 10.
Timeout seeming to work well, at least for these early couple of exchanges, right? Something's want of space, him wanting to play towards bound is fine, but you've started to see how Wolves are approaching this.
You never see PRX really relent in that regard. No. It will continue, and that's where they catch teams off guard, where it's like, yeah, your aggression hasn't worked 4 rounds in a row. No, we're coming again, don't worry.
That 5th time, it'll work. And now we're seeing a bit of a tempo switch up from Wolves too. Very, very slow. Holding here, waiting for that re-aggress, which is coming. And again, they're so prepared, Mike. They've got the PRX playbook and they understand it well. Still got to handle the players on the other side. Great shot from Batman, but it's traded. And the numbers simply so advantageous. A quick rotate off the back of, once again, YU space.
It's always the one to backfill these sort of plays.
Ooh, tricky. Still not easy on this though, is it? No. It's whoa! Come on! How is that fair? But look at, once again, if you don't see it on the site, you know where to be looking. Slow and
selalu ngeflank, Cok, sumpah.
They need a plant though, 17 seconds, and YU on his walkabout. Divide dead! And now the plant on the line though, Forsaken could speed up here. Punish the plant, but no, can't quite capture!
Empty.
Spring again! Wolves! Beautiful Beautiful mid-rounding here, Mike. This is stunning.
Blow for blow, this exchange is beautiful to just watch from the minimap. YU threading the needle once more.
Wow, boleh juga tuh pikan kayak gitu. Menarik.
But again, it's a similar thing. PRX, they lose one, they stack up 3 to actively re-clear that space. And ultimately, again, it feels like it's their demise in this round because of YU. Now sitting at 11 and 5, leading the board for Wolves. Almost the executioner getting plenty of shots to the back of the head.
Oh yeah. And it was impressive. Again, this it feels like it came out of that timeout as well. They've clearly got a game plan in mind of how they wanted to approach this. And it's
I mean, because they're reading it perfectly. Again, this scenario, First Blood comes through.
Nice time,
PRX are going to re-clear. So there's going to be 1, potentially 2 other lanes on the map that are totally open for YU to walk into.
It's very impressive to watch because PRX are a really hard to handle team. You only have to look at the names they've taken down to get to this point, right? It makes perfect sense. Liquid, Sen, G2. I mean, they're a dangerous team. You know, if you want to talk about, these kind of, intelligent teams, they play that, good quote-unquote Valorant, they've fallen for this. But Wolves have come in very prepared. Maybe just, very, very ready for what PRX understand their tendencies.
Prepared, yes, but actually refining some of the things that we've seen them adapt here in Toronto, which is actually what's so refreshing to see, again, on a dream run like this, an underdog dark horse, but actually improving game by game. Upsets along the way, sure, but actually showing they've got their heads screwed on.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Now for PRX, so once again you kind of go into the archives, right? Everyone likes to look at these guys as underdogs. They've had to rebuild. That is true. Bringing in Patman was fantastic. It worked.
Kayak benar-benar main anchor gitu kan, nungguin
They're
gitu.
starting to look much better overall. But these guys are finals. These guys are Champions finals. They know what this sort of pressure's like. They are never going to be the underdogs in my mind. They're too talented for it. So as it stands, they need to adapt here.
Just look what's happened here as well. PRX have already drawn a player across. I mean, Divine now reconsidering, but Spring looking to pressure up towards Tree. Divine again, counter 3, almost caught one here. YU now. Again, shows presence on the other side. So ice towards the minimap, look what happens. Immediately PRX looking to isolate the weaker side of this default, but they pick up the pace towards A.
I like the intention, actually, I really do. But the problem is the stall out's fantastic from PRX. Denying that space being taken freely. They're here quickly, popping the ult from something. Information galore in 25 seconds. We are now at pressure stations. Forsaken down on 30, has to respect the paint shell. A spray through the smoke here doesn't land, but something's does. They're dwindling in numbers. Sufat, BD and Spring, the last 2 standing, and they are cornered here. This adjustment from PRX.
Nice.
Stunning from them. They worked it so well.
Now that is a beautiful recovery, considering what happened elsewhere. It was paranoia, showstopper, so
mana bagian buka stringnya? Bangsat, bagian buka stringnya lah tuh babi. Adanya ini. Nah tuh, main 1,3 juta, subathon seminggu lebih.
PRX still come back.
This is really nice for PRX. Again, even seeing that discipline start to an extent, right? That dose of discipline at the beginning, the second contact's made.
A sprinkle of discipline.
As much as we're going to get. That's as much as we're going to get.
Pakai gasing lagi.
Honestly, I like that though. And again, those quick rotations starting to
Kau tembuskan tuh sampai sekarang. Kau tembuskan sekarang, gue pakai gasing lagi anjing. Puas kau.
And yeah, the trap was there, but even those rotations coming in so quick. Back into the mix of things. A buy from both sides, still lacking for some areas on PRX's side. You're going to see that Guardian still in the hands of Divide.
Yeah.
Stack up from Wolves. And on the other side,
okay.
Not too far, clear towards Mound, and a wanted punish. You can see they're starting to read this, maybe Mound pressure, trying to maybe toy with those expectations off of that Phase utility.
They kind of know Forsaken is the key stakeholder in terms of those set pieces outside C. Trying to shut him down here. Again, beautiful read or assessment, I guess, of the previous situation.
And some people may look at these two teams and see them as just those mechanical monsters, but this is a really cerebral game so far.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Seeing these rotations on rotations, these adjustments. Oh, Spring almost. And now a moment of quiet here.
That could slow things down potentially.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to kind of pre-take, I guess. And the plant's going to come in. Now this should encourage movement here. Just going to kind of eat the crowd.
Something menunggu itu, cok.
To use the shorty just fine. Weapons not right and the knife's not ready. So a 3v3 in the post. Look at the position from YU. That is, excuse me, coming in from CFAT BB. He is still on the way, but they've still got to slow things down. YU does well. Lightsaw still has to hold ground here, and now the silence becomes deafening. The position becomes questioned. They don't know where he is, but they're going to hazard a guess. CFAT BB does well on one. Draws to fire off the defuse. Just needs to keep his cool here.
Bring them down.
This would be everything for him, trying to play to the time, play to the tempo, play to the clock. And play him like a fit. Oh, see that, baby! Beautiful for the Red Bull clutch.
This guy, time and time again, looks so composed in the clutch.
Sekarang FNC nggak sih? Ya nggak tahu sih lokalisnya gimana sih. Itu yang buat bingung
It's been an
sih.
exceptional game so far, just brilliant from both sides. And again, on surface, you may have thought, it's not going to be this, really cerebral matchup. But this has been a wondrous affair.
It really has. That's any sort of taster here towards the second half. Don't go anywhere, we'll find out very shortly.
Yeah, we will, because we do have a bit of a treat as well coming up. We do
Ada
have
turun langsung menang ya,
Mixwell standing by for us. So that'll be where we're going to in just a second. So I can't wait to hear from him. He's been in these scenarios. Let's see how that feels from the other side.
Well, one of the perks of being here live during finals weekend is being able to run into legends such as Mixwell, who's co-streaming here from the venue now. Welcome back to Canada. You've been here before. What do you think about the crowd so far?
I think the crowd is one of the loudest I've ever
Si Aceh tenggil banget dah, tahu. Yang biasa gitu dia Aceh. Play cara gameplay dia kayak gitu emang. Suka tengah-tengah.
Exciting to be among them now. You have a little bet.
Nggak mungkin lah si Haikalnya nembusin itu aja. Udah gila ya dia kalau nembusin. Aku kan bukan viewer sejatinya. Dia kan bukan viewer sejati aku.
So now I'm afraid I need PRX.
Bang coba bikin channel kedua namanya Fanboy Sejati, kontennya gaming tapi kamu sambil cosplay fanboy. What the fuck? Jangan kalian rame bahkan biasanya nggak gitu anjing, ngapain coba tepak bro, buat apa anjing? Malu sih, brengsek Fanboy Sejati anjing. Harga diri
How important is it to have that hype man
on your team? Fanboy di situ anjing.
I think it's really important, especially when they are down. Some games Wolves were down and Sufat brought Juicy back, for example, and I think it's crucial.
Kalau ada yang 10 juta hari ini, gas.
You have to enjoy the moment. You have to be in the moment, and Wolves, especially, they are enjoying it a lot, and a lot of people want to cheer for them as well because of that energy. And now I like them, even though I might go bold. I like them.
Lebih ke nggak percaya sih Haikal, bukan pengen kamu mau.
And let's see if PRX can maybe save him in the second half.
The one thing I will absolutely agree with is this crowd has been amazing.
Gas katamu tadi.
But the second thing I will say is actually referencing back something we were talking about in the cast.
Tapi nggak mungkin, orang nggak mungkin nyawer 10 juta tuh nggak mungkin langsung gitu bro. Gila aja bro, siapa yang berani?
Why you the one to really pull ahead here? For Wolves, but also Divide on the other side of things. But just to come back to that same point again, the resilience. Juicy the other day, an absolute stinker of a first half.
Yeah, really struggled.
But again, the vibes never changed on stage. You could see maybe hints of frustration.
Kok ini ada fetish sama Fanboy apa gimana anjing?
Really pay dividends in terms of a team's mental.
I mean, we talk about the sixth man, right? Being that crowd behind you to get you back going.
You almost need a conductor actually from the stage to be able to actually channel that.
Jadi ganti-gantian gitu cosplaynya ya, brengsek.
And Wolves certainly have tapped into that here in Toronto.
All right, PRX now on the attack, 5-7. Whoa! Divide headliner. A big player in big games too. Don't forget what he can do. 3 pivotal kills.
He's got a fire, bro.
And a stark reminder of who PRX can be.
We dictate the pace now. You
Kenapa tiba-tiba udah fake kayak gitu, Jim?
We'll bring the fight
Wait.
Now, why you in spring?
Ya, nggak jadi ace. Nggak rugi gue, alah. Dan ditantangin nggak rugi gue, alah. Flawless, okay.
Kicking off the second half with a flawless round victory.
And you're right, I think what you said, controlling that tempo.
Ada panik sedikit padahal gue tadi.
Making their fights their own. Hard to handle on all occasions.
Bye, bro.
PRX are gonna dial into that.
Oh, jadi kamu tahu.
That's really, I guess, we've asked this before.
Ampun bang. Gue tak.
To kind of stabilize a little bit.
Nggak segila itu, Cok. Gila, Cok. Kalau misalkan beneran Cok gila ya. Nggak mungkin, udah nggak mungkin. Nah, nantang gue sini, nggak mungkin itu.
On the way in from PRX. Stack misplaced here, so your second successful approach towards A.
Stack 4 biji di B.
Hopefully.
Yep. And I again look towards Divide here, 2 away from his ult so early on. I mean that could be there for the bonus, right?
Bingung. Ini katanya di penjol. Jangan pernah nantang hike.
One off now.
Gue pergi, gue pergi anjir.
Massive the attacking side. That
Kan gue Cok anjing lah. Gue deg-degan sama turnamen ini. Sama kata-kata Haikal juga, Cok. Oh, oke.
Wow.
Guys.
A response found.
Easy, Tiger. We shouldn't get more dangerous than this. Stop it. Jing and Forsaken keep this in control. Stop it! What has gone on? Forsaken left in a 1v2. Come on, Forsaken, surely you keep this safe. Backpedaling away, trying to play the time now. This should never have been this close. See that baby forced to move.
Hampir aja.
Way closer.
Come down to a Red Bull clutch here. Just one right.
Dua hal yang bikin gue deg-degan. Cara permainan PRX sama cara live chat Haikal. Itu yang bikin gue deg-degan, sumpah. Namaku Haikal, namaku bukan Haikal kalau nggak mendapat dia dari sebutan.
Purchase together, Jing. Judge, but I saw finding so much value here. Jing.
Eh?
Okay.
Itu lucu, Cok.
We'll get the hallway monitors out next time. Now again, keep in mind they do have Device ult here. So this is something you've got to see them build around, be aware of. Quick little pain shot to try and maybe delay.
I mean, Wolves adjusted perfectly for this. There's actually nobody here. Yes. Entry found, but it's a full 5v5 in the post.
Sketchy timing on this. And it looks like something wants to try and hold this back. They're willing to try and brawl on the side. They're not sitting deep at all here. Something wants to draw blood. PRX still standing by. Oh, it's messy. And now there's an opportunity. PRX though, backing on Jing. And you know he'll give you a couple here. Beautiful from him. Now down in the 1v2. Incredibly difficult for Sufat BB again. Not gonna happen. Jing's got that one.
Wow. Kutanya sekali lagi apakah menantang aku?
Tempo shift here on the half. Certainly suiting PRX.
Enggak, Haikal gue tuh lebih gak percaya aja Haikal, sumpah. Gila aja bro, orang
Get this judge up close and personal.
10 juta cuy masalahnya cuy.
Jing falling around for him. Good progress towards the showstopper.
Itu hal satu yang sulit gitu. Jadi gue nggak percaya aja gitu. Oke.
Down on a bit of a Shiko. No ultimates to their name.
Oh, bilang nantangin, nggak tahu ya. Kok jadi gue kicep gini Jing? Ampun dah. Takut gini gue brengsek mau bilang iya penting enggaknya Cok. Wow.
Okay.
That's sharp.
Okay.
That's sharp.
That's
Okay.
a recoverable weapon. No one else is here. So the game
menantang kau sama meremehkan aku. Enggak gitu astaga.
You trying to buy time, but it's hard to hold this back, right? It's a flood of players. Full kit.
What the fuck?
We didn't see it.
Kita nggak lihat. TP satu hilang ya.
PRX though got to steady the ship here. Can still get a little bit scary. And now Juicy does have that Vandal, right? Can they play him in? The post plant is purely on the site itself, Mike. There isn't anyone sitting deep.
Well, I mean, he's got 4 sheriffs basically to rally behind here and try and make this rifle work. Found the first. Patman's
Okay, Divine now. Gonna have to do work here. See if that BB does well. Divine. This man is a big player in big games, and he just.
Iya, kenceng gue.
Blink and you miss it.
Itu gila, Cok.
One of the quickest aces I think we've
on fire, bro.
Look at this. And they needed him.
That's so clean, bro. So clean. Wow.
Beautiful to watch back.
Yeah.
through it.
But they're getting close, Wolves, right? They're getting close on these rounds, getting a little bit scary. But the scoreline looking good for PRX. 9-7, a bye back in hand for Wolves, though. They have to stop the rock fast.
This could be the round to find that response. But I can see you, Fat BB's ultimate. This time around, obviously retrieve the orb outside C. There is a bit of a gap here with Forsaken, the solo anchor towards A. Obviously, possibility here. Patman and second player actually to come across fairly quickly, but
well, here comes the test. Patman, I don't know if that's going to reach. It does, so Lysol will be noted. Draws the paranoia. Okay, counter on counter. They can't hear a thing here. High though, unaffected, unfazed. 35 seconds getting close now. The paranoia burnt early. And Lysol needs to be ready.
Ada takut sendiri cuy ngomong iya tadi cuy. Katanya enggak ayam gue.
Lysol still does the damage. Can't do the dance though with Forsaken. And that's a beautiful catch from CFAT BB. Punishing Jing on the push-up. And now the plant gets hindered. Problems down mountain. Spring at the door, and now it's just on Defy. Position noted earlier, they should be aware. This man's dangerous, but not today. Spring's got his number. And Wolves back with
Lala gue enak tidur capek bawa motor dari jam 8 pagi sampai 5 sore. Buset, lu mau kemana, Haikal?
finally stop that string of rounds.
Lu kemana anjir? Sampai dari jam 8 terus sampai 5 sore naik motor, cuy.
Getting costly here on both sides. And Showstopper shut down here from Jing, desperate to try and convert.
Ini kah touring kah? Touring motor barang-barang kawan kah?
It's broken the money from PRX.
Yeah, it has.
See
Yeah,
how
I mean,
close these rounds have been.
Gila juga sih jamnya jam
necessarily
segini.
been a walk in the park for that string of rounds, but Jing looking to put this rifle
Kira
to
dia
work.
itu bakal tadi, Cok.
Start of round 18.
He's had a feel-good round not too long ago.
Oh, look at that anti-TP sets up!
Oh, it's so
Wow.
sick! You think Wolves are just another team? They're certainly not very
Batman,
ready
what the
for
fuck?
what PRX wanted to bring. Forsaken picking up what feels like the cursed rifle at this point. Just dropping hand to hand. Divided well last time in a scenario not too dissimilar to this, but not be able to get it this time. Yeah, handled. Wolves fully ready.
Something just walking into a blender. Was it both Nanos actually into that corner? The alarm bot was there as well.
Yeah.
Obviously the vulnerable taking effect.
Second time.
Yeah, what's the other second is here?
Oke, aman.
Really. God.
And actually, yeah, I didn't even, Jing's forced into the line of sight as well, so.
Mungkin Haikal gitu ya.
Great little setup here from Wolves will actually get them a second round. Force a timeout as well from PRX. So we'll be required to stand on our own 2 feet now for the remainder.
Ya pasti time out sih.
The scoreline.
Overhit mereka cuy. Gila sih.
Keep thinking, oh, okay, PRX back to that
Ada
4
overhead
in the row.
banget,
You start to have Jing popping off. You've had Divide doing, acing out. It looked good. But then these last 2, Wolves never feel like they look like they're under pressure. It's always possible with them. That nice little setup, these last 2 rounds, very considered.
Find themselves in a really good position actually here in terms of defensive ultimates. They got 1 away from the lockdown, Springs 1 off the pit.
Oh, true, yeah.
2 more for Juicy to find the showstopper. I mean, yes, options on the side of PRX, but in terms of this...
Lo kalau nggak ada apa-apa, Haikal sini ya cerita-cerita ya cuy. Always bro, dari masa lalu untuk buat viewer lain buat nerima cerita-cerita bro.
Again, even with that string of rounds now, look at what's in the bank for PRX. What's behind this purchase? Now, even here a broken purchase, if you look at some of the shields.
Okay.
This feels tense though, because this was the one from the timeout, right?
What the fuck?
This is the one with the plan in mind for PRX. The last check-in with the coaching staff, unless we get OT.
Wolves getting a little active here as well,
Hey,
actually.
off the back of a timeout, why not?
Maju
Traditional
in there.
reaction. Is PRX aware? Something. There's 3 players in that smoke. You may think there's 1. But will he expect all 3? Quick enough to find 1. Great paranoia from Forsaken as well. Do they try and go on the hunt from this? Oh, the TP's lovely. Big investment on that, but I like the idea behind it, taking a lot of space. But look at towards the site. It's, yeah, Juicy still standing here, pops the ult, plays it well. Oh, catching Jing midair! You can't get away from him. Brought back to life before from CUBB, and now he's standing on his own 2 feet. Divide left. All on his own. Surrounded, and he doesn't even know it. You thought that TP might have cut right through him, it didn't. The Wolves still standing together, fighting together. Divide does what he can, putting up the stand. The Wolves taking the lead.
Aduh, Batman nggak kena ini, Cok.
Executed to perfection here. Again, a crucial trade from Juicy, but then to find the second, the showstopper comes through, that splash damage. I can't believe that even catches on Jing. Outrageous scenes here.
Are you starting to believe now? The way this half started, I thought it was going to go kind of par for course, right? What you'd expect. But the Wolves, once again, proving they are lethal about their business. So we go again. Money, not looking good for PRX. It's Stingers, it's a Sheriff, it's a Bulldog. Brought together from the bargain bin, basically, here. Can they make something with it? Ooh, a little bit of chip on the way. Position now noted. subathon on the site here. Still got C's and his Prowlers, but they are fast to this line. Caught sleeping, not expecting the pace. Juicy, a wild play through the smoke. Gonna find 2, but Spring's now here. It gets a bit messy, but it's working out, at least for now, in Wolves' side.
Not great here for Pac-Man, though.
Oh, do you really go for that? No.
He certainly doesn't feel safe to just stick the plant out, so they're waiting for something. Does have the ultimate here, but again, the 2v3 doesn't feel good.
And that chip on Pac-Man too, they're starting to feel it. Something's going to have to go nuclear. Try and save the day, but none of these fights, these engagements are fair for him. YU does well, leaving Pac-Man with 21 HP, and not a prayer to be had. Wolves again now, round by round, taking this away from PRX.
They hit 11 here. This is getting into really awkward territory now. You can see there's effectively a force up here. Ultimates are plenty. Talking about some of those defensive ultimates here for Wolves. See how it lies here for PRX. This is going to take up the lion's share. Obviously, the round loss bonus is going to be a consideration, but potentially face Wolves here on map point on a broken buy.
Oh my God,
PRX's map choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all starts to compound here, but they're not there yet. 4 in a row, unanswered. Ult starting to build, money looking solid. We're going to need a PRX round.
Who's next?
Going to need someone to step up, and it looks like something wants to try and trailblaze his way forward. Good info. 2 spotted, and the rest now filling behind that.
So whether or not they were trying to set up for potentially a paranoia there.
Oh, the paranoia was fine on one, but it's still standing, still breathing. Forsaken going to find the trade out towards Lysor. Nice!
There's a Violet for second.
Unwilling to relent on the site now. Spring. Oh my God, what a shot.
Nice for second.
Forsaken wants this. YU, a 1v3. This would be something special. But a lifeline for PRX. Jump spot towards street, that's from Divide. Time's been bought. Get the punish fast enough. And now they know the position. The cross should be the death of YU. I say should. Yeah, they're not giving him an inch here. Very well handled by PRX in the end. They had to keep their cool there.
Almost a lifeline here in terms of the bigger picture. Brings it within 1. Not allowing Wolves to really sit back on their laurels and rely on these ultimates. Getting so sloppy on that first kill. The paranoia almost setting things in motion.
What a scan.
Forsaken just...
Heroics there.
Yeah, just absolutely bulldozing his way onto site.
Those were your last words.
Wolves at late timeout in the half in the map. Round 22. comfortable financially. She's still got those ultimates actually building back towards Juicy and Siu Fat BBs. Almost a stacked deck here in terms of this cycle.
Yeah, it starts looking a bit scary, and that Jing's 2 away from his. Forsaken 1 off and 2 away from Patman's, but
semuanya hidup di sini tuh. Asli semuanya hidup.
feels like we're getting really.
Gila ini permainan cuy.
Well, again, you think about it as well. If you don't invest these ultimates early on, you never really get a clean 5v5 retake versus PRX because they'll find a plant, but they'll also more often than not push towards spawn, try and find a kill, weaken that setup. So if Wolves do have any kind of set pieces around these ultimates, you're really looking towards Spring and YU to mitigate that risk and sit deep enough where really going to be able to rely on it too much, but said PRX, they're a team that reads into that sort of thing so well.
Well, I'm probably going to see a paint shell. I imagine maybe a C's perhaps, who knows, but you're seeing the way that
well, first time actually the stars aligned for a fight towards Trouble here.
God, this could be right off the rip. Here we go. Already, paint shell comes in. C's not going to find it, but the reveal is fantastic.
Wow, what the hell is it?
Juicy going to go down.
Wow.
Forsaken doubling in. This is lovely from them.
4v3.
Sufa Baby does answer back in kind, but PRX aren't stopping. They want the site. And
wow, what a flash.
Done by something. Yeah, that's stunning.
Let's go.
An approach, just banking on themselves.
4v2, please. Don't jinx.
It's a haymaker thrown from PRX and it lands once more. Similar to those early rounds we did see in the second half.
This shouldn't be possible. A 1v3. It shouldn't be possible, and it isn't. Something in the end to add the full stop to that sentence. But it is 11-11, Mike. PRX have found what they needed, but it's getting close in.
11-11.
The money's still in place for Wolves, and you're looking at those ults. They become such a heavy factor, but this reveal was everything.
Lysor, unfortunately, still in the committed position.
Nantang tajam-tajaman aja, benar-benar tajam-tajaman aja.
Even so, you connect that first shot, you've got
agresif, dibalas agresif cuy.
PRX staring you down. PRX maybe feel as if they found the recipe here. Slower approach this time around. No resistance shown early on, at least, from Wolves. Exploration elsewhere. This is both YU and Spring, though. Spring's going to continue pushing forwards. Might even catch Divine Spawn.
Aduh, aneh lagi.
Almost sell this fake, but Divine completely unawares. They hadn't seen this sort of look before. But if anything, it encourages his approach towards A now.
Jig does have the showstopper as well, though.
Yeah, this is going to get tense. Both players stuck on the back of the site now. Ready for the swing, but not ready for the shot. Lysor has his Forsaken, waiting for the pop. And the Olin Jinx landed it. 3v3 now. Tension rising. Something holding the push through the door on the other side now. Rewarded. Nice from him. Man advantage and plot next on the cards.
See the lockdown invested here.
Kondisi kayak gitu masih bisa loh anjir.
Comes through from Patman, but PRX are going to fight this. YU's found one.
Yeah, beautiful from him. They've got to react to it now. Something, it wasn't clean enough.
Oh no.
And Jing, what do you do?
He's caught.
What do you do?
They can just stick it.
Yeah. I can't believe it. YU just has to hold guard. And for Jing, he just has to stand back and watch as the 12th gets taken away in the final round of regulation. Wolves take the lead.
See here, the purchase going to be rough for Wolves, but they find that response, finally finding the opportunity to invest the lockdown. I mean, it's another situation where you just see Forsaken again. Just digging so deep. Jing hitting the drive-by as well.
Udah bagus mainnya ini aja.
Zach killed Rob with a follow-up here onto something. This one ultimately that can bail Jing out in that situation. They're coming into this though. Wolves still have a pit, still have a showstopper. Big tools to work with here in round 24. A moment of silence will drop. PRX poised now.
Cover going out.
Once again, it's like actually a big info there. Catch him drifting away here, not necessarily looking committed. It being Jing, obviously, the tip of the spear on some of these set pieces, but PaperX are actually going to contact up.
It all feels like the calm before the storm.
Wolves almost scratching their heads here. They invest the pit over, expecting maybe that with that information, PaperX are rotating towards C.
There's the info, but are you ready for the hit? How do you play it for Lysor? Oh my god, he's going for the heroics. Oh, he went for the heroics and it worked out for one. Not going to get a second. PaperX now finds stability on the site. Into the post plant. Something playing a little further ahead. He wants a one and done and back away. No one's given him that yet though. And the time ticking for PaperX here. This is good for them. Still ults in play though. Juicy has his. You've heard that invested. Flies on the site, but something goes well. Gets one back. The showstopper doesn't work.
What the fuck?
Something lost. And a trade for Spring. It's into a 2v2. It ain't over yet. You're looking at the post plant for Devi and Jing here. Can they hold on to this? Pain Shell posted by some seconds. They needed to stay alive. Devi digging deep. And they're not dead yet. They're not done
Oh my god, what the fuck is this game, bro? Overtime, cuy.
Bringing it back to 12 apiece.
Of course we see overtime here on the first map of this series. An insane exchange here throughout the second half. And PaperX is showing a brazen approach.
No fear.
Almost their trademark game plan here. But Wolves, I gotta say it, seemingly up to the challenge.
Something mainnya fast ini.
Everything gets reset now for round 25. Those ultimates will be reset as well. I mean, Wolves perfect.
Hello sir, welcome. Let's go still.
Back onto the attacking
Tadi
side.
aku hampir saja menantang Haikal tapi dia tidak jadi dan tidur, guys.
They've read it really well here.
Same piece we've seen previously.
And it worked out well for a 2-for-2 trade in the end, but this time, Jing,
something
in unison. They're not going to let him even have a chance into this. Denied from the very word go. And Wolves want back in, they're taking the fight. And he can't do that. PaperX locked in on this. A 4v2. They should find stability, Mike. The Wolves look
Why? No.
willing to back
Wow,
away.
no need to rush, bro.
They're expecting
No need to rush, bro.
to rotate away from this and give up the space, but PaperX reading this perfectly. Still got both extremities controlled as well, so
Mereka benar-benar nunggu smoke-nya aja buat bareng-bareng.
They need a freebie, they need something, and it ain't happening. PaperX
No, bro. This is a bad play. This is a bad break over, bro. Anjing ini.
Right shots.
Ya mereka di smoke tuh biar nggak ketahuan. Nyatanya ya ketahuan, cuy.
Draw first blood this set piece once more. The back of the C's nade. This time around, no casualties, no trade found. Able to stick the landing.
Apa yang lepas itu? Saya lepas anjir.
Wolves actually call a timeout here.
Sorry bro, habis blue strike BS, blue strike. Berapa lama blue strike bro?
So impressed by PaperX's mental here though, because they've been put through the ringer on this. Again, it's pressure on them more than anything, right? If you're Wolves, you've already done more than expected.
What the fuck?
In fine form today. But yeah, again, usually with Wolves you'd be talking about, you know, this unknown quantity and, you know, hard to read and stuff like that. The fact that we're talking about actually there is some familiarity between these two teams, it makes it a little bit more interesting because we've seen kind of counters to both approaches.
Yeah.
PaperX showing they're able to dismantle those defaults, and Wolves also looking as if they're very adept at dealing with early round aggression. And
what the fuck is this kilometer? What the hell?
I'm with you on that one.
Again, you look at PaperX, they are a legacy team here, right? And they have that one destination in mind, that final stop. The Wolves standing in their way of that grand final. And it's down to the wire between these two. As we go again, similar scenes it looks like, right? It almost looks like rinse and repeat, but Jing this time is fast. Oh, and he does get it.
Sure.
Lysor has gone down. It looked a little laboured, but YU swings in. Oh, he gets a second.
Wow.
Hold on, PRX held back here now.
Spike just behind the wall as well. Not necessarily a comfortable push out here.
That's
for
both
Wolves
players.
to control. Yeah, Divine and Forsaken.
I have the spike.
Will be given an opportunity to reset a little bit here, but find themselves in a 2v3.
Oh, I thought they were leaving Devi there.
Do you wanna be the snowman?
So no paranoia. Going to be a little gap on a follow-up smoke here. Spark comes through. Juicy still got satchels. Spring still with a snake bite, so a couple of tools here at Wolves' disposal.
Oh, so tense now. You're going to need someone to over-deliver, and
Wow.
they do! PRX take it down!
GG, guys.
And Spring can't stop!
Oh, wow. What a goal, what a map, bro. What a play, what a game, bro.
Legacy team holding
Oh my god, bro. Anjir, map awal aja udah ekspansi itu, cok. What the fuck, bro? Anjir, udah sensor aja.
Standing pistol round, ah.
Standing pistol round, ah.
He's legit in PC cool, they should take it.
Di sini komen, bro. Ini sudah session, bro. Guys, gimana mainnya Bang Raffi kah? Sama-sama bagus, sama-sama nge-wave. Ada kondisi di mana PRX bagus mainnya, ada kondisi PRX ada wave-nya, ada throwing-nya. Sama juga kayak Wolf. Tadi mau banyak ada juga yang momen-momennya bagus banget, tapi ada juga momennya dia bad play banget anjir. Tapi bagus lah. PRX menang. Anchor tadi gila banget ya. Anchor tadi gila banget. Yui Chow itu gila buat anchor aja. Jujur aja. Sampai nggak ketahuan kali-kali loh. Benar only Yui Chow ya. Berbagai dari pemain pro. Udah sih. Gue nggak nonton deh, takut PRX baru ntar aja tahu hasilnya terakhir. Biar dapat deg-degannya bro.
Diffused.
Oh fuck. World Cup please. EWC ya. Esport World Cup.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Wah, pengen main ini gak guys? World Wazer. Lagi nunggu guys. Fuck, deg-degan anjing sumpah cara memang permainan kayak gini bikin deg-degan Jo. Sama-sama bagus men mereka, sama-sama tajam aja. Kau tengok tadi pas Davai Ace itu gila men. The real gila, what the fuck? Tense? Using PRX suit? Oh my god. Aja tense pakai PRX bro. Baju PRX anjir. Oh my god. Oh lagi di Kanada, balik kampung nih Tense nih.
If it sounds better, okay, and then I heard it over and it sounded 10 times fucking worse. Wait, and I was like, can we listen?
Okay. Gara-gara ini gue gak jadi ngantuk brengsek emang. Deg-degan, feel deg-degan itu loh bro, anjing memang cok. Hampir kalah untungnya menang ya. Oh my god bro. Ada yang mau ikut? Kalau nggak ada gue main sendiri. Tebak-tebakan lah ya. Where is this bro? Kita nyari Indo aja kali ya. World Indonesia. Indonesia lebih ini ya. lebih kalian tahu gitu. Kabit juga tuh sebetulnya cok. Tiba-tiba jadi fans PRX. What the fuck, ada bocil. Lokasinya ada bocil. Spanyol masa. Spanyole tadi. Mau yang Spanyol apa gimana nih guys? Anjir, mainnya main di sini, cok. Mana tanahnya masih merah lagi? Gunung apa nih, guys? Tebak gunung, guys. Gunung Winda atau Gunung Linda? Anjing, kayak gini mah gue nggak tahu saat apa lokasinya, cok. Sumatera kalau ya nggak semuanya merah tuh Sumatera, sat. Sampai nggak berani loh mobil Google masuk situ, cok. Oh, itu kayak gudang gitu ya. Kayak suasana-suasana di Sumatera Utara ini, coy. Vibe-nya ya. Jalan sepakat nih, guys. Jalan sepakat nih, guys. Ada nggak di rumah, ada ke rumah kalian jalan sepakat, coy? Wait, mana? Sumatera kalau merah sepakat. Ini sama anak-anak sepeda diikutin sama dia, cowok. What the hell, bro? Gang Alpukat. Ini kayak nggak ada tempat ininya kan? Ada yang jalanin dulu aja. Aduh, jalanin dulu aja mah, takutnya nanti takutnya malah dianya bareng sama seseorang, bro. Aduh. Oke. Ini baru ada perumahan orang kaya ya. Tadi masuk perumahan ujung tuh kayak masih ya perumahan miskin. Maksudnya perumahan apa adanya, guys, gitu, guys. Enggak gitu, guys. Nggak boleh gitu, guys. Nggak boleh gitu, guys. Oke. Kita cari jalan keluar lu deh. Kalau cari jalan keluar lu deh, anjing. Jalan nyarinya sela-sela pantat, men. Oh, nih. Alah, tulisan pun tak kenal pun aku. Oke, ada kayak tempat kuil Cina ya. Oke, ini jalan besarnya nih, guys. Jalan besarnya nih, guys. Bengkel mobil. Singkawang Timur, Singkawang. Singkawang di mana Singkawang? Jawa kah? Jatinegoro, Wonosiri. Kasih udah waktu aja ya, Tasikmalaya. Apa Singkawang? Jangan-jangan di sini. Kalimantan, Sumatera. Kalimantan jarang yang udah mau Singkawang, cok. Kayaknya Kalimantan deh. Oh, nih. Jalannya agak ke pinggir ya. Yang kota-kota masih tanah kuning, guys. Gang. Oke, cari benar-benar tepat nih, jing. Jalan apa nih? Jalan sepakat nih. Cari jalan sepakat, guys. Jalan sepakat, guys. Jalan sepakat aja. Bibit alpukat, what the fuck? Bibit alpukat itu enak, tapi kalau bibit bayi itu bikin deg-degan. Apa tuh ya? Ini dah. Bodo amat lah ini ya. Alamak, di atas tuh ternyata gang sepakatnya. Ini tengah kota, cok. What the hell? Di sini tuh. Oke, next round. Let's see. Jalan apa itu, cok? Pahing nggak tuh, cok, namanya? Oke, ini agak pahing. Kenal? Gorengan kedai bilsik kebel. Oh, ini kopos. Hapuskan guys. Posko terpadu PPKM Dusun Pahing. Pahing di mana? Jir, jalan-jalan lama-lama nih bikin gua bingung coy. Ya fix soalnya Pahing kalender Jawa bener sih. Nyari jauhin Pahing. Apakah di Surabaya, apakah Cilacap? Kita lihat dulu ya guys. Kita cari jalan dulu guys. Kita cari jalan besar dulu guys. Anjing makin ke desa nih cowok bre. Apa udah benar tadi ya? Ini Jawa bagian dekat-dekat Jogja kayaknya. Banyak-banyak sawah cok. I see something. Toko Deni bla bla bla. Alah, kagak ngasih alamat pun kau. Alah, jualan tuh kasih alamat sedikit. Bisa nggak di sini? Jalan Pahing nih. Harusnya kalau udah ke kota ini ya langsung ke jalan kota nggak sih, coy? Harusnya ya. Mau jauhnya lorong nih. Rengsek gimana sih anjing? Jual jemuran bambu kurdi. Alamak, masih ada jemuran bambu ternyata. Bre, sumpah bre. Rumahannya lorongnya kayak panjang banget gitu loh, bro. Anjing sampai nggak ketahuan di mana lagi, Cok. Sedot diseka kita. Yang mau jemuran siapa ini? Oke. Alah udahlah Pahing aja lah Pahing. Pahing. Klaten. Udahlah Bantul aja Jogja Desa ya. Cari aja ya. Ya sekitar mirip-mirip Jogja ini, Cok. Cari Bantul aja lah ya. Klaten, Bantul, Sentol. Bantul di mana, Sat?
Lagi ngapain bang?
Ya lagi main ya.
Lagi ngapain?
Lagi nomor PRX.
Oh. Sorry bang, jarang nongolin.
Tahu nih. Apa lo? Kayaknya lah Jogja aja lah pilih lama bingung gua. Jogja bagian bawah ya.
Bang, mau tidur.
Oke. Nice dream, bro. Coba. Alamak, di Kuningan toh ternyata. Astaga, banyak berkuningan ya. Oke, let's go guys. Maaf dulu guys.
Oh boy, all right. Well, it's time now to get ready for map number 2.
Jadi main free turun tangan, Cok.
I said you want to see him at 3, Toronto.
Alah sesatnya, Cok. Ternyata bukan cuman Jogja aja yang banyak punya sawah, guys. Ini masih ada sawah kan? Nggak tahu ya. Nampaknya bagian itu tadi, coba bagian agak pinggir aja di gue. Susah sih ini coy. Esen map pelemahan PRX juga salah satunya, Cok.
I mean, you look at this, really the upset would have come from Lotus for me. If Wolves could close out here, PRX struggled domestically here on Ascent. They obviously have the loss to Genji previously here, sorry. So this is the opportunity now for Wolves to get back in control of this series and force a third, because Split should be an absolute barn burner if we get there.
Please, look, I
always delivers, man. A Split decider always.
Oh, God. Okay, well. Let's see if they
Tapi kalau ngomongin intens, dia karbit langsung karbitnya langsung niat loh, Jo. Dia langsung datang ke eventnya, langsung pakai baju PRX dan nontonin PRX lawan Wolf aja. The hell, bro.
To rebuild.
There was a great line from Divai, I think, in one of the interviews, talking about every time he sees the champs LA finisher in game, it haunts him. A couple of them actually just saw them brought up on map 1.
So again, you've got to have been starving to truly understand hunger, and for PRX, they've never really got that first place. Not when it mattered, so for them, probably the best chance they've had in a minute's time, but still, it will be Wolves on the attack, PRX on the defending side. Something tries to stake his claim towards the middle, but will be warded away.
Back on the sheriff.
What a flash.
Juicy with a flash.
Oh wow, what a shot, bro. Juicy, that's so juicy, bro.
Yeah, maybe not thinking to want to fill that space yet, but there is still 2 players on this side of the map for PRX, so Patman's still here. Jing's still on this side too. Slow and steady again for Wolves. And it looks like PRX wants this back, but it's just going to end up being a brawl, isn't it? They're ahead of the smoke, but what's the util on the corner? There isn't any. So Jing and Patman do really well. Eventually they trade it effectively though. Wolves keep the man to the good, and they get the site for themselves.
Man to the good, something down to 34 HP as well. But 2 sheriffs on the side of PRX here. Good pack a punch here on the retake. For a spam, that's the exchange back and forth. Still got a drone in play here for subathon.
That is lovely. Gonna have to keep themselves tucked in on this. I think both potentially spotted, and that was huge for this. Something can't get the shot. subathon off to a great beginning.
This is gonna hard, bro.
You gotta make it work on these attacking sides.
Aduh, aku gak ngeri sudah soalnya ini kelemahan
main objective on Lotus. Did deliver.
Enemy remaining.
Repeat it here once more. Something. Can't get that. Mimi mentioned what he can get done with the operator potentially on the always a factor on Ascent. Wolves have the tools to really prevent that from happening. Fairly invested here on round 2 as well. Respect being shown to PRX. It's only spring on a sheriff. Bulldogs across the board. Actually, with that round 1, subathon already halfway to the Hunter's Fury as well. So looking for further progress. Potentially.
But again, a reminder of that last map too. These rounds aren't free. When it comes to that second round, even if it's just a sheriff, even if it's just classics, PRX will make something out of it. For now though, again, it's a considered approach from Wolves, taking their time around the map.
Mereka mutusin buat ke
And subathon will be working towards that, or I imagine priority on that here. Caution needs to be shown. That deep haunt over towards B, you should have seen on the mini-map. Pretty indicative that no one's there, and the connection of the knife. So they should be locked in for what's happening.
I have the spike.
Considering set piece here.
Mereka berpikir berubah pikiran, Cok.
Are they cancelling on this?
Anjir. Left. They need to find progress somewhere.
Oh, mereka mutusin buat split.
Especially with players like Jing tucked up. Very deep position.
Oh, and Jing.
Why you comes out on top.
Yeah, the paranoia goes into sight, so they should be able to kind of springboard through this. Unless someone wants to smoke, now you can't. Now you're held back. It feels like the anti-PRX, doesn't it? But they still find a way through. Divine up and over the top, but at this point the plant's going to be in. So very difficult to find much surprise, even ahead of maybe that deadlock util. You've got to be cautious. Again, you can afford losing 1 player, that being Spring. The rest you don't want to lose, and YU took a risk, but he should be fine here. Yeah, stability looking good. subathon going to be building very close to that. Oh, and a lovely round in the end from Wolves there, Mike.
Initially, subathon did have the spike, but plant coming through elsewhere. Still, fantastic progress made.
I got scared here, though.
Very, very worried, yeah. And the Bulldogs sometimes can be a little hard to tame. subathon not having that guard sticking the spray.
Malu. Masa aku tuh berdiri ganggu, Cok. Malu-malu gitu aja.
Especially with spring upgrading as well.
Kalau si siapa namanya, subathon bagus berdirinya, Cok. Dia emang confident banget kemarin.
Actually, 2 light shields.
Tapi apa tadi spring kan?
Side of PRX as well for something and Forsaken.
They're fighting on every front though, PRX here. Pressure down B main, pressure down cap, pressure on towards A main. It's a really risky ploy. I guess it does burn some of that early util for Wolves though, so there is that, and they're really committing the paranoia on that too.
Cover going out.
Waduh, bahaya banget nih, Cok, posisi Spring, Cok, asli, Cok.
On the opposite side here.
If Spring even comes out positive in any of this, it would be incredible for him. Because in the meantime, look at where the spike's going, Mike.
I think if he can show presence or something actually. Forsaken's walked all the way up as well.
They don't know about Forsaken. Oh, it's a quick beheading. Couldn't be the ball and it might be the green light to go towards B. Still a player to hold his divider down low, but still standing and still breathing on 35. He takes YU out of the equation. Now starting to flounder a bit. You can see it with Wolves. This was only their bonus, but still struggling to find the landing on this up against the 4 remaining for PRX. That's going to be dealt with. You look at that middler coming into effect too, but that's not going to find the value they want. And yeah, something clean with it. Still making something of this. Spring still got his paranoia. If he can get through here, oh my god, it's risky off the back, but still. Now the smoke dissipates on. Oh, wow! The smoke going down on CT opens up chance here. Divide tries to find that second before the paranoia lands, but 8 seconds now. Stop it, Wolves!
1v2.
One by one, they are taking down PRX, and Jinx seems unaware of the possibility of Spring being so close. Smokes of his own and a couple of TPs. How do you divide and conquer this? I do not know. But all eyes drawn to that potential in the smoke. Jing steps forward, smoke goes down, and Spring finds him. Mike, I can't believe what I just saw.
Conversion on the bonus here. Talked about the threat with all those Bulldogs. It looks like PRX initially come out with a win to catch this kill, but not just that, the information that Wolves are descending upon B site. For some key pieces of utility, key damage towards Divide in that initial exchange. You can finally pays off massively for Wolves. Get themselves the upper hand here to kick off map 2.
And I'm waiting with bated breath, right? Because that's a huge start for them. Because I feel like once you get PRX on the attack, right, able to control the tempo, kind of do what they please. But if you can stake a good claim for yourselves,
salah line up, Cok.
YU, quick reminder. The PRX are lethal no matter the weaponry, and that is going to be an upgrade for something. Might pass that over depending on the shield situation, but still, good stall here. Massive. Patman. Is he going to get to live here? There's a lot of targets that all could be sent towards, and yeah, grabbed. But Divine in the meantime, going to take down Juicy. Hold on, this is not completely secure by any means. They're in a 3v3, sure, but look at the HP of Lysor. See if a BB does have his ult, but I don't think he can get away from that default plant spot.
No armor sih.
So Spring waiting. Now sees that. Forsaken, are you aware? Going to be held up back towards Heaven. The 2 players on site can focus towards short. Nice from Spring, but he goes down. And now Something and Divine need to come together in this. Somehow figure it out. The deeper off angle from Lysor was lovely. Leaving Divine. What a shot! You got one more of those. You've done it before. You had the ace before. The man is a monster, but he's got to prove it now and see if that BB has been ice cold in these. He knows the time, he knows the tempo. What is that from Divine though? A bolting shot, and once again,
the Red Bull clutch here from Divide, continuing to deliver here today in this series.
Ini jadinya sama, Cok. Cuma belajar apa ya dari sini, Cok.
Another 3-piece for him to add to the list. It's rough as well, the reset again. Default plant spot safe initially, but
that's a kill, bro.
It's a gamble. You can get a cheeky half defuse in, or you can go ahead and stick it. It forces the hand, especially with the recon bolt being used so early on.
Now they start pressuring the point. Look at that deep line already adopted by Something in that operator. Sit towards that. Prowler going to be clearing. No one nearby now. My ult is ready. And the ult gathers nice step and a fast mid take coming out from the Wolves.
Potential to backstab this. I think they're reading into maybe some deep presses. Yeah, we'll catch the backside of Something for sure. And the second player.
That is bravery. Why are you swinging that? Forsaken doubling down. It's a mistake and a punish. Is why you will lap that up. And now that B-side looks so vulnerable.
Flash. We guarantee the cross juice is going to find Divide as well. Actually, yeah, that might
it's so hard. Save. Need to save.
The white flag put up for PRX here to hold on to these weapons. No point feeding into this potentially with Juicy. Close to that ultimate. Spring's actually already on the hunt. He wants to prevent any semblance of safety here for the remaining PRX players. Gonna pick up a deep position in spawn though. There's still maybe a question mark if they're in towards market or in towards spawn. Well, they will progress any further, but yeah, usually talk about discipline, and that was a lack of respect to something.
Yep.
Yeah, did he even get a shot off? Why he was so quick to that?
Yeah, they seem really aware. Again, this kind of, it's not necessarily that regional matchup at all, but, you know, scrim partners and the information on this ahead of that swing, it was really well dismantled. Again, Forsaken's fault as well, just felt it was too late to be going for that. There's no trade to be there. Desperation.
I think, yeah, again, once you know it's the drone that's come forward, you're not just swinging onto YU there. Again, it's almost an expected response here from PRX. They deal with the trip. They want to post something on a much deeper sight line. Again, the Prowler's sent through as well. So it's actually Wolves that have the upper hand in terms of the information game. It's a question mark for PRX, actually. Who's behind that? And the punish, unfortunately, there for them. Will leave them at a 4-1 deficit now. Timeout called. There's a purchase. Considering the rifles behind this, maybe want to make a play for an orb here for something to offset that slightly. Is Forsaken going to be riding their stinger coming into this, but already a fantastic start for Wolves. Looking composed.
Yep.
As well, just hearing from Fade talking about how much actually those days off have paid off, because they've had, like we said, with the comeback in Gen G, the resilience shown, that takes a lot from a team, even if they're all smiles and on their feet on the stage and stuff. Behind closed doors, no doubt, no doubt that reset absolutely necessary to continue here in Toronto.
Yeah, spot on. So for them, it is now just how long can you keep this up? How clean can you keep this game? PRX so far with that one round, but of course did have that timeout. Can hear the ults coming through as well for something. YU's kind of had their number on this B side, but it feels like they're getting the right read here. But you're going to go through the pit on this? No, brave enough to go for the ult orb, but that's about all she wrote. But that mid-cross is dangerous now.
I think I did just hear something pop the knives.
It's
not necessarily looking like as bad a situation here for PRX.
I must wait a moment.
They try and navigate their way around the pit.
Looks like it, right?
There's a TP back here from Juicy to potentially collapse on B side very quickly with YU spring.
Wow, that's sharp, bro.
To do that to something! Can we just like highlight the fact you're doing that to something twice now? He's been outswung. If you don't think these Wolves are gunners, you are absolutely wrong. But now they've manipulated the map well. Now they want to maybe hit that cross back in again, and this is where those stingers are going to start suffering. You're not in the right place, but Jinx still going to hold his ground. Paranoia primed and sent down through.
That's big.
Tries to escape, and he gets out at least for now. Patman's found Mike, Story's got support. Spring, see that BB, they're just flying into Roger. Patman, go!
Okay, Patman, aku tarik omongan gua, you are so good, man. You are so good.
Puts himself in a
you are
deadly
God.
Position and delivers here for PRX.
I need to watch that one back.
Anjay.
It just jumps down and gets behind this so quickly. Beautiful stuff from him. No semblance of comfort back in the coach booth whatsoever.
Okay, let's go.
Back in hand now for something. All stacked up in mid now. The smoke will obscure for the time being.
Who's next?
So Juicy going to try and pave the way.
Wah, ditutup pa yung pinito. Tutup yung pinito.
Reds it round the corner there.
And something seems unafraid at all, and he gets out of danger. Trying to combine it.
Oh, what a dash. What up, ref.
Really. And now Forsaken just stands
shot for second.
This feels like it's
oh, get cancel. Juicy no info, bro. Oh my god, bro.
It's gonna need a hero.
Oh, Spring is so sharp.
Done well towards Batman. Doesn't expect to fire.
What a timing, bro. Nice one. Let's go.
For Divide there. And now just two remaining. Juicy and Sufat Baby in the 2v4, Mike. I mean, it would be a tilter.
mean, they should find a straight 2v2 on either side here, but the issue being something is posted up. The operator. Again, not many tools left to...
Safe.
Actually, no, I haven't said that.
Up.
With a full belt.
Oh, fake.
Trying to send it for the fake, I guess.
30
oh,
seconds
yeah,
left.
fake.
A nice idea. But it's not
Fake info, tapi kayaknya putusannya adalah we need to save. It's kinda hard. Kinda hard, bro.
Because they don't get a bite.
Udah keputusan bagus buat save Wolf.
Cancel.
I mean, YU 450, Spring 1350.
Entry juga gagal, mereka bakal miskin banget.
Scrape together any funds here. So PaperX will find their third. Keep things honest in the start of Ascent.
Okay.
Let's see how the ultimates play here. It's only a TP for Spring, and as you can see on PaperX now, absolutely nothing and a million miles away from anything, to be honest with you.
Wajir, kau lihat tuh,
Slight advantage
something,
in that regard, but it's
muter-muter ya, jing, set.
potentially the next key ultimate.
5 per second pun sama aja.
I've got to say as well, for me, good start seeing Patman find a bit of impact too. He's been a really good player for them.
Yeah, quiet map one as well, so seeing him come online, certainly a positive.
Oh,
wow, what a...
got the timing so right.
Fuck, what a flash. That's so good flash, bro.
Juicy just to swing that. But the next layer to this is still something. There's no pressure towards middle, but he's very paranoid about it. They want in on this. Still not noting him. The stall's there. If they try and disrespect it, it's going to be brutal. And it is. Yet way too difficult on the way in. Juicy, what is that?
Wow, Juicy. Oh no, Juicy. What?
Sort of stuff.
Sorti dari ujung ke ujung,
as well. So unwilling to deny that scale up towards B was their right idea.
Wrapping the spike.
Kalau nggak ada info, coy. Mereka bingung, coy. Di mana semuanya, coy.
This guy's paranoia, smoke, TPs. He's got a bit of kit here to play with, though, Mike.
He's left guessing. Potentially, yeah, going to get himself a clean plant.
Shadows traveling.
With the smoke towards CT kind of implies he's not expecting this wrap.
Certainly does. TP should be noted too, that paranoia.
Timing.
Now he's going to know.
Yeah, a little interested on that, but the corner, slow peaks ain't going to get you past something. And he's going to take a stand on that one. But it felt like Wolves were so strong in wanting to hit towards that B site, but scaling up just didn't feel right there.
Initially, that first kill was a Forsaken. Yeah, Forsaken gets caught here with the flash. Revealing area. Again, you look at the minimap at that moment, and there is a huge gap in the PaperX defense.
Gila OP-nya. Woi, Juicy tepat di belakangnya, cok.
I mean,
anjir, Jopai nggak sadar kalau di belakangnya ada orang aja.
Picks up a little momentum, but that kill there, he was down to 1 HP.
What a short kill, bro. Gila, something, cok. Gila, jadi something, cok.
Just as the door is about to close.
Get up.
Potentially sealing that post plant for Wolves, to be honest with you.
Yeah, felt like it. And now Wolves starting to run dry, it looks like. Again, when we're talking about these sort of big stage games,
mulai ganas to something, cok.
Comfort on here when you're under the gun, because yes, they did lose out to, what was it, Sen early on, but beyond that, they've not really dropped a map for Wolves. They've been on that kind of momentum run. So now they're starting to hit that brick wall, right? You kind of expect it in towards these sort of games. The caliber just keeps increasing. I want to see how well they do in this. Obviously, they did great against Gen G. That, to me, was the tick in the box of authenticity.
Yeah, almost a turning point.
Yeah. Like everything else, I'd be like, okay, maybe people underestimated them. Maybe they...
Yeah, because you have that step up again for playoffs where it's like, obviously, the stakes get raised. And we're not talking about elimination for Wolves, but certainly the caliber increases, the pressure definitely correlates with that. And then you step into a series versus PaperX. Talk about Gen G being an international titan, but...
PaperX, I mean, God, I said it
need no introduction when it comes to the international stage.
Truly not. And again, I think that because of their lack of, let's say international trophy, that there has been that worry about them, how well they do, their expectations. But they are still a grand finalist team, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's just something that doesn't even need to be said half the time. But at this point,
oh my God,
corrected well. They've got everything back to where they like it. And for something, he's going hunting. He knows where the man is.
Yeah, Cam dealt with quickly. You see on the minimap as well. Situation developing outside A site. Then the knife is going to have given that info across. Really juicy with a rifle here, and Thought of that if you may.
This feels very classically Paper X as well, but a dangerous position for Mistake, and he could get outswung here. And he is on his own because you saw the rotation route coming out from something, so times it well to back away, and that sees obviously giving it a couple of seconds and actually plays back in something. You don't often see fights this deep on the map, but welcome to Paper X, I guess.
Yeah, Paper X just don't want Wolves to sit back and set up here, preventing any rotation back towards the B side of the map. Patman still commanding this space, and actually Knife will reveal everything if he threw it.
Udah ketahuan. Ya, nggak perlu scan lagi.
Probably still knowing exactly what's going on.
Yeah, look at this.
30 seconds left. Snake bite.
Dapat semua scan.
This is an awful sight to have to try and approach. Basically dry at this point. Yeah, Juicy still going to get Jing down, but we're... Okay, guys, you were primed for this. And Divine looks like he's trying to do everything himself. What is going on here? That's unfair.
What a move, something! I like that move, bro.
Now tipping the scales on their side. And I've got to say, Wolves looking a little bit shaken by this.
Yeah, and I guess, I don't want to say lost for answers, but unable to really troubleshoot with some of these approaches that PRX are displaying here on the scent.
Something is on fire, bro.
Juicy, again, good for two on the way in here.
Yeah, surprise.
A moment where Divine can't ping down Spring.
Paper X Watch Party loving that one, but 5-4 we go back through. Buyback in play. And it looks simplistic in approach, it looks direct, and something looks to turn this operator.
I got the spike.
Dia mau OP sedekat itu, Cok. Ini apa?
I mean, he's feeling himself here. It's a really risky play. It's now been great target selection. Catching that baby just in towards the owl drone. And he's still standing. He looks like he wants to absolutely pop off here. And he is. One by one they come. And one by one they fall. Can he
Oh my god, something. Yeah. Oh my god, bro. He's logging, bro.
Why you?
Something.
Looking to try and get towards the site. But something's been dominant about this so far. The double swing. Position noted. Something's going hunting. Hungry for his 4-3 already in the round. There's not much to be done for
we have hope.
Especially not now.
What a scan.
Solid idea of where he's at. Paper X just want to decisively close out.
Lari. Aduh.
No escape.
Bingung.
Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Something
langsung ngebet doang anjir.
Scarier and scarier as the game goes on.
Like they're channeling into that 6th gear. Putting up now 5 rounds.
Anjing sekecil itu bisa kena loh. Seberani itu, Cok, maksud gua tuh, Cok, bisa kena anjir. Dan bisa balik loh.
Tides certainly have turned. We'll actually draw out a second timeout here for Wolves. And the opening stretch of Ascent.
Udah nggak ya? Anjing 2 kali loh.
I guess from Fade to try and recover things here. Hope for a 6-6. Actually see Fat BB who wants to really lead this dialogue.
Yeah, it's not Fade. This is the captain checking in with the boys. See that pressure starting to mount.
Mereka defense-nya bagus sih, jujur.
Because I guess this is the uncharted territory, right? Is being on international stage and coming up against opponents that you just can't crack through that first line of defense.
Ngerap deh, Cok. I wish we win sama support nih, man.
These guys really earn their money, to be honest. Oh yeah. It's coming up with the goods here.
It's all good and well to have those Cinderella runs, right? And it's why we love them. They're such fun to witness. But the reality is normally that fairy tale falls short. There's been very few occasions where it's gone the whole distance. You could argue EG at Champs was probably one of the only ones that ever made it.
Tapi bingungnya mereka tuh selalu pas Eiko gitu loh.
Paper X have been that fairy tale run in the past. They never quite made it themselves. For Wolves, they have to face that reality now. How bad do you want it? Do you have really what it takes to push someone like Paper X away from something they are singularly focused on? That grand final is what they want. Jing gonna draw blood. It's beautiful and juicy.
Oh, juicy wave, no, bro. Oh no, bro. It's gonna hurt, bro.
Too, but Forsaken happy with that. Something will follow up here. Why you will fall.
Oh, nice. That was
actually regress here, but Paper X.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
see Fat BB now.
They're making it hurt, Mike.
Anjing, dibawa kena mental gini Menso. Gila, pressure kuat banget dari pressure kuat banget, Cok. PRX ngasih buat kuat banget, Cok, anjing. Wow, what a scan. That's so good, bro.
Didn't even look like that was going to land as well.
Simply lovely from PRX. And as said, the pressure starts weighing on the chest for Wolves. It's still a manageable scoreline. Still smiles. But we can see these rounds, and they're feeling these rounds, and there's aggression again. Something wants that deeper line, and he's got it for starters.
Shoot.
This is why it's so rough to play against PRX, though, when they get themselves ahead. They know to not let up. Wolves can potentially find a 7-5 here. It will be. Big tick in the box.
Oh, bang on. But that wherewithal, that discipline, that capability in the high pressure games now is the biggest test for them. Looking a little fraught here so far. Last couple of rounds just not quite been in the wheelhouse. And again, the timing on these
lagi scan aja. 3 anjir.
Fragment to prevent anybody slipping the smoke, even though Devi on watchful guard here, tucked into logs, because PRX can sit in this formation.
Oh god. I mean, Devi's just, he does get caught playing ahead there. That is one thing that's worked in their favor. He tried to lean a little forward, gets punished, but Forsaken, the Guardian in this one, keeping him at bay. And look who slipped towards the site in the meantime. Jing still here, doing the dance, does it well, takes down another
Forsaken mau ikut panas, Cok, demi apa anjing, Jing.
The leader for the Wolves side has to
Gila, nggak ada step. Gila, leader lawan leader, Jing.
Such a commanding scoreline.
Really is. Wolves
semuanya panas, Cok, dari PRX. Main hak ngantung-ngantung, jir, lemak. Tidur lah, Cok.
8-4. I mean, it's a pistol round 2 potentially that makes this such a huge deficit to come up against.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out now for Wolves. This is a tough scenario.
Oh my god, X4, bro.
Singular.
Sampai lepas headsetnya, Cok, top fuck.
They're not there yet. One more half stands in their way. So they need to prepare themselves. And it seems like we're about to send it over to Vansili with Sid City standing by.
Thank you so much, Pansy and Hypog. We have a hell of a game so far, but I'm joined on the floor right now by Sid City.
Sid City, bro.
Sid City. Sid City, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. The energy in the stadium is insane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the last time we had a chance to speak with each other, it was during an Americas matchup in LA. What's the vibes like here in Toronto in a sold-out Masters Toronto?
Yeah, I think it's insane because the East Coast and Canada hasn't had an event like this in a long time, and Los Angeles always has events like this. So the crowd, I feel like you guys are like super excited to finally be here in person and watching the games. Like, you guys are insane.
Toronto, you're excited? Hell yeah. And now you have some experience playing in Game Changers before, so you have an eye for skill. In this matchup so far between PRX and Wolves, who do you have your eye on so far?
Okay, honestly, at first I wasn't gonna say this, but after that ace with the deagle on that defuse round, Devi.
So does that mean Devi and PRX are taking a series?
Yeah, I mean, I got PRX rocket on my sleeve right now, so I think they're gonna scare us a little, make it a close match, but I think PRX is gonna like close it out. I'm sorry, Wolves. I'm sorry. You've been great though.
Well, Wolves, you know what to do. It's time to Thank you so much one more time, Sid City. Let's bring it back to the game.
Vansili's sending it on that. He's such a bold man. You know what I mean?
He's actually been rehearsing that for the last few days.
That's what I've been hearing in the hotel.
A few howls, yeah.
Yeah, fair play. And they're going to need a couple because 4 rounds isn't many, right? PRX sat on 8.
Taunting dibalas taunting Jing di hell.
Coinbase Econ report, kind of just the lay of the land, really. And it has
sampai 80,5 aja
he has
gila.
elevated. I was worried after that first round with the operator. It didn't seem to phase him.
Semuanya turn on aja. Cuma tahu dia attacker.
Yeah, and I think the issue
defense mereka bagus ya dari Wolf ini.
It's been collected by PRX. Wolves haven't had much of a say in some of these losses. Yes, coming down to maybe a 1v1 here and there, but all the crucial kills feel as if they went PRX's way.
Mereka 2-0 itu bisa jadi situasi 2-1 this is will be hard entry. But let's see.
Round 2 can often seal the fate of a team.
On the line here. First contact made, that's 2 players, and a third now noted. That's a lot of info. See if BD is being bold about this, but he's been revealed, he's been just about everything, but they've weathered the storm.
Yang kena box smoke karena alasan takutnya jadi kayak yang sama.
The PRX were going to follow through, but maybe the Prowler catching on CUFAB BB.
Oh, waduh.
Made them think there's potentially a little bit of a
laser alone.
The timing on this. Lovely timing on that, but something is free. A little bit of a dick though, gonna do some serious work. The spring's already down low, now even lower.
Nice one per second, nice one Davai. 4v2. That's plan.
The east side is their goal, and the plant's gonna be in.
YU and CUFAB BB, a 2v4. Couple of members of PRX
tagged up, but namanya juga unik sih.
Certainly doesn't swing this in WOL's favour. Have to overcome the odds here. PRX just poised for anybody to step out. That's it.
Wow, Wall.
Okay, it's not over yet, but YU's going to come into this as well. Jing's quieted him down, but CUFAB BB's going to see both players basically. He's got to know where they are, but he can't do enough. A desperate
reposition
to get them back here. But PRX take another step in the right direction.
On the brink of double digits.
Wah, butuh banget, Cok. Butuh banget Eko ini.
As soon as they find, I guess what they perceive as a point of weakness, they follow through.
Oh, nih lihat dulu, Cok. Mereka mau force by apa Eko? Waduh.
Well invested here for round 2 as well. Don't want to leave anything up to chance.
Oke, mereka milih untuk Eko.
Rifles except for Patmen on Forsaken. Actually, Wolves set up in a little bit of a stack here. Flash in's only going to slow down the inevitable, it feels. Maybe toying with the idea of contesting that orb, but doesn't happen. I think PRX
cuma nembak kameranya.
Yep.
Something.
There's a trap around that corner, guys. I'm pretty sure.
Waras tapi sengaja dilariin.
Something
nungguin gitu. Wah, anjir, 4 biji stuck B. Ngelihat ada pengen pick up apa enggak. Something.
It's just Lysor, but Devai actually.
Ya, mereka ada berapa posisi? Waduh, bahaya ini posisikannya, Cok. Got one, okay. Two, okay. One more.
One by one, the flash through the smoke is nice. CUFAB BB is already noted as well. Can't really fall away from the stairs. Jing already takes the angle. PRX looking locked in here, Mike.
Oh my god.
They are pulling no punches.
No, they're not.
10-4, bro. Oh my god, bro. It's kind of bad for WOL, bro.
That's when it really flips the switch. Wolves the ones to left, kind of to sweat in this scenario. Almost a second guess themselves, but Jing, a third found and a 10th on the board for PRX. This buy round is huge.
PRX yang paling ini loh aja. Cuma karena something udah on fire banget, anjir gila nggak bisa lihat.
Only the one casualty.
Later you're gonna cry, bro.
So they come into round 3.
I think they're gonna cry, bro. Oh my god. Devai. Oh my god, bro, Devai. Don't do that, bro.
Forsaken and Jing closest in terms of this ult cycle. Cover going up. Nothing of note for Wolves, but potentially a pace change.
Masih Eko.
Initially, Forsaken going to retrieve one orb. Try and retrieve one orb.
3 kali anjir ngambil aja. Masih berusaha untuk ngambil aja.
But don't have control over towards A main, so.
A little bit cagey as a start, isn't it? You can see the.
I mean, it's a huge ultimate.
Oh, dia mau hancurin wire-nya itu.
You know they're going to want to come with this orb.
Wah, kebuang satu bomnya.
Well, here it is. They've taken the torp.
Actually, Lysor and Spring do peel away.
Now they've cleared B main. If you're looking at Wolves' side, they cleared B main. So they might leave YU here, but you can already see that rotation coming in from Juicy. He's going to try and pop himself over towards A.
PRX aren't dead set just yet. I think maybe going to prioritize towards short here to
from
catch somebody out.
Garden.
They don't want to walk into this choke point.
No, and that's going to encourage to play forward, but denied Forsaken with the first blow. And it could be a lethal one at that. Juicy. It's laboured, but job done, and nice one as well. Tucked into hell.
Let's go then. Let's go then, bro.
The walls aren't done yet, but Forsaken captured and held in place. The spike now left loose. With 20 seconds, he's got to make a miracle out of this. 3 players. Forsaken. I have the spike. Not going to get it. A lifeline for Wolves.
And 5.
3 left standing as well, just an armor shield to repurchase here for Juicy. Again, that was the bonus, so PRX is going to come back in, and because Batman only brought a sheriff to the party,
Spike down A. Spike down
it's almost rinse and repeat here. Not out of the woods just yet. Cannot get the ball rolling in terms of the
comeback.
But again, though, this was something that was said about BB was building up his players, right? Keeping them confident, trying to keep them in the game. He's going to have to keep doing that because PRX don't stop. Even in their losses, they will still play confident games. And something taking space. Solo Endeavor. 2 players on the other side. BB and Lysor playing top mid off the back of that trip placed in as well. So they've got a lot to play off of here. A very difficult scenario. Patman on that deeper line in case someone does swing. It's got to be those early protocols being cleared.
I mean, it is a duelist's nightmare to play into this composition.
What?
But I saw
still have that trip, so they can still have confidence behind that. But they've read it wrong to an extent, right? They're kind of falling for this fade pressure on towards B main, but we know where it's heading. PRX are once again eyeing up the safe site. This is brutal. You got Juicy still here, you got Spring still here. PRX are right at the door now. And away they go. Something looks the wrong way and gets punished. Spring does well. Great paranoia too. Tries to slow the roll here, buy time for these rotations. Pressure from main held back by the smoke, but Divide gonna lean forward. Lurch closer. Juicy playing the corner. Gets denied. Looks for the follow-up. No. Spring barely alive on 2, but he's still breathing until then. Down to a 3v2. Man to the good for PRX, and now Plant on their side.
We're going to be coming from heaven here. So BB a little ahead of YU. Nobody from PRX overstepping. They're tucked in right now.
Got to see discipline. That's a shoulder shown. Some damage made. So they could know 2 players off of this. That third is a problem. That third being Forsaken, but they're losing out on the site. Couldn't quite get the follow-up.
Terfokus ke Heaven, jangan langsung nge-pick. Nice one, bro. Nice one, nice shot.
A tough loss here.
2 more, guys, 2 more.
Like you said, with the bonus being as well invested as it was.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, now seems daunting to approach this round 17.
Mereka nggak punya time out lagi anjir. Mereka nggak punya time out lagi, mereka buang time out tuh pas di awal. Susah nih buat mereka buat balik anjir.
PRX. Maybe a chances existed and died on that first map, but they're not out yet. At 11-5 though, you can start hearing that music play, can't you? That 12th round looking likely, but in its way, good couple of sheriffs, Ghost, and a team with a whole lot of hopes here. But for PRX, they've got their own plan in mind, and that's
NT.
Lysor lands it, so Jing's gone down.
NT.
Recoverable if they want it.
NTP udah bagus padahal tadi.
Aren't in a position to capitalize elsewhere. They're spread so thin. Spike not committed anyway just yet. So that man advantage will stand for the time being. No weapon recovered though for Wolves.
Oh. Nice from Patman, big kill there on towards Juicy. And that knife should reveal at least 1 more. So they can turn away from this.
Dapat 3 langsung pindah big mereka.
It feels a little headstrong for my taste, but it's PRX. You kind of know what you're in for here. Lysor was the one to do the damage. It looks like they're trying to trail up towards heaven. Something bulldoze forward. Great shot. 25 seconds, and Lysor still standing.
They're sharp.
To go
He's going sharp.
And beyond
Careful. Careful. Careful, Batman. Nice for second. Nice. Nice jump, Batman. Only one. But Syufet. Tapi ini Syufet.
Forsaken is not. I know. Oh, Hail Mary!
Oh, NT.
For a second, I thought it was possible.
12-5.
But 12 found, and the final stand
12-5.
has to be now
Susah tuh.
Wolves.
Nggak bisa tuh anjir. Buat Wolf menang tuh susah anjir. Nah, ini kesempatan Wolf kan. Tapi PRX kaya banget udah aja.
Navigate their way into this defense. Get everything they need. It comes down to a fine margin once again.
Nggak tenang nih, udah mulai nggak tenang mainnya. Udah ngemet aja, udah berusaha sebisa mungkin mereka aja. Tetap gagal gitu. Wow. What a trip for Dash.
Anti-setup though, which is nice. So they're still going to get a bit of reward from this, right? It starts feeling very, very likely. Layers of ults though. Lysol could be in trouble here. See if that baby trying to get on site, but Juicy goes unattended, unchecked, and he's
nice. Oh no, Juicy.
Kills on
NT Juicy.
Finding more would be mythical.
One more,
at this
guys.
point. But for PRX,
but it's so hard for
Mike, I don't know if they could do it. Just these two players. Desperation play from
oh, he's low, bro.
Got his man, but Wolves
NT.
stave off what feels like the inevitable with 3 still alive.
Clinging to life here. The Newell theft being the catalyst for PRX. They know they have to fight for sight then. I think Pac-Man down to just a lick of HP.
Yeah.
No chance for them to sit back and try and defend that, but Juicy really the one to...
Eagle Eye. This big one, Juicy.
Stop this from spiraling out of control.
One enemy
what a scan.
Second ping, paying off there.
Breaks the money.
Let's go, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Let's go, okay.
I say ult.
They're 7.
Scary one
seven.
with something. He's had a really good map here. Can they deny him now? Can they stop it now? Spring forced away, looking a little shaky, but something's fallen.
Something.
Which is a little bit worrying. That could be a tilter for him there, because that was meant to be their kind of, I guess, main part of the piece.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a nightmare for a duelist to play into this composition, but you really need that second or third man in line. Deal with that sort of thing here. Juicy deals with Jing handily.
A bit worried there that he'd found like the dream gap to try and punish, but not to be. So PRX try and do what they can, and Wolves aren't allowing it. Pac-Man does well towards sight. Let's see if that BB still on the back lines. Doesn't need to overextend himself. Waits for the swing. Wolves could
12-7.
Well, Mike.
I don't know.
Double digits.
Fuck.
That's how we start. Yeah. It takes 1 round. PRX up to 12.
PRX butuh 1 round.
And that is a
Sedangkan Wolf butuh berapa round?
There's 2 members here down in Arch. The time that happened, and again, I'm not saying dealing with a trip and something goes wild there, but Bladestorm invested in that sort of round in particular. You never want to see a Jet having to invest a knife to deal with a trip.
Timeout.
Especially with 2 people in close proximity.
Tapi punya ulti Juicy, Cok. Masih punya ulti Syufet bisa ngulti pas Juicy ulti.
Back to work though.
Looking for revenge up here.
Yeah, this time he wants in. See if that BB playing top mid. Looking at the rest of the team split throughout. A bit of a
Ini wire-nya
PRX maybe trying to catch
di
some
market
aggression.
total anjir.
He's got to be cautious as well. Going to spot out Lysol. And this is a creep towards A though. Look at the pressure. Spring's in potential trouble. Does have his paranoia if he needs it. Investment of the ult going to come down on the other side of the map. Juicy's going to clear and get away. There's no one here, but they don't know about Jing. He's been able to slip ahead early. They don't know about Jing. And now you do.
That's big from Jing.
Like a knife to the heart, but Spring answers back. Trying to... Spring! You are
That's crazy play from Spring. I like it. I like it.
It's a 2v2. Don't think it's over yet. Spike is there. It's picked up. Sent back away. Plants coming in.
Look at the pit as well.
Oh my god. This is going to be down to the wire, isn't it? Divide disconnected towards A main. You're going to have Jing tucked towards side.
1 HP Spring.
Oh, just missed him.
Lama timingnya, Cok.
Unbelievable. Spring trying to play the game, and Jing now going to be doing the around the world here, but they've given up position. This could be a mistake here, but they don't know about it. Obviously, they don't know about it. The pit's going to fall. And now you're looking at Jing.
Nice, Divide.
Strikes first. YU.
Divide.
On again. Can he take down Divide? He absolutely can.
Oh, NT.
Wolves digging deeper.
Spring tees it up.
Mereka sudah berusaha. Warga itu Spring gila sih temennya. Hijau juga.
I can't believe that. Look at this round. This from
Ini cowok anjing gila banget anjir. Itu kalau gagal sesuatu yang buruk coba buat Wolf, tapi itu gila men. Itu bagus. Aku hargain gila itu.
That's the killer instinct I want to see though. To be able to do
anjir gebrakan yang paling kuat.
And I gotta say, frustration, rightfully so. They give up the pit. They play themselves out of line of sight of the spike. Yes, it needs a miracle, but it's Wolves you're talking about here.
Yes, you know.
It's still only 8 rounds. We said we start paying attention at 10. They've broken the bye, but it's still Paper X. They can do it with classics. But something seems so unwilling to let go of this mid pressure. He wants it so badly. So Juicy's got to be careful. There is a world where he could get timed on this one. Those stingers, very, very deadly. We're going to go down. Camera here. Doesn't need to overstay his welcome. Could do with some support on CT though. They do have an open path straight across. Divide going to deny that. No one's going to be able to help out YU here. Does get to at least evade the siege, but they are right knocking at the door. Paper X have a way forward.
No damage done just yet towards the side, but actually now YU going to have his hands full.
Oh, outdone.
Wow.
Paper X making something out of nothing and maybe a mistake made by the Wolves.
Mereka masih sabar. Mereka soalnya tahu Reprexiko.
You're looking at that late mid lurk as well coming out from Jing. Juicy tries to make something of it. Takes away Forsaken, but the numbers still
Anjirnya kalau misalkan Paper X menang Eko, waduh sakit hati banget Wolves, Cok. Sumpah. What? What? No! Don't wave, Paper X, don't wave. Jing, mereka Eko menang, Cok. Aduh. Akhirnya itu final aja. Sakit hati banget, Cok. Kalah gara-gara Eko, anjir. But something's playing good.
Quickly become a fan favorite here in Toronto. Still.
Gak expect gitu mereka posisi-posisinya. Mainnya rapi banget, coy. Di ronde itu Paper X main rapi banget, Cok. Mereka nunggu banget emang. Nunggu timingnya aja.
And a 2-0 victory over Wolves.
2-0, bro. Oh my god. Paper X! Track, come on! Let's go to grand final again!
Paper X have another shot at this now.
Finally, bro.
It was never about just getting to a grand
We bring
final.
back again, bro.
It was always about that final step. The first to lock it in here in Toronto.
First lock in, bro.
Who will they be standing up against is the big question, but a great performance here. 2-0, Mike. They've got to be happy with this one.
Absolutely, and for me, Patman and Divide being two key stakeholders here for Paper X.
Divide for me was absolutely on the money.
How many even said this is a guy that's been under so much flack.
Yeah.
Because again, it typically doesn't slip into that same sort of ethos and the visual check, I guess. It's tough to really see his role within this roster and I guess the play style, but man, today, shining bright.
Yeah, I said making those big plays is valuable
lose to this team.
on these maps.
Yeah, exactly. Alongside some of these teammates along the way, so yeah, beautiful stuff.
NPC standing anjir. Waduh kena kalau ini, Cok. Kapan balik anjir.
Jumping down there in a moment. Now it does seem as though we are ready. So let's hear from the players themselves. Down with Yinsu.
It's been 2 years in the making, but Paper X are finally back in another grand final. I know, Jing, you're a man of few words, but I gotta get your reaction on this because, JJ, this is your 3rd grand final on the global stage. How does this compare to LA and Copenhagen?
I think now we have like more experience, so hopefully the time's the charm. Hopefully.
And speaking of that experience, you know, your very good friend Forsaken and you've been through a lot. What's Jason like as a leader these days on stage?
I think he's doing a really great job as being a leader. He's like keeping the whole team hype and keeping all our energy good. And I think he makes everyone really excited as well and really hyped. So yeah, I think mood is really great now, and hopefully we carry on the momentum to the grand final.
Okay, I have one very important question. The crop top. We have been promised the crop top in Pacific. We haven't seen it. Now you're in a grand final. Are we bringing out the crop top finally?
I mean, like I said in the press con, if we win grand finals and my team wears the crop top with me, I'll do it.
All right, okay, we need to get PRX behind this crop top. I know one person that might be down for this, of course. I'm going to get told off if I don't get David here on your thoughts. First of all, Davai, your first ace on the global stage.
Yes.
Was that fun?
To be fair, I just want to win the round. But now I got an ace. I mean, thanks to you guys, and very happy.
Anyone you want to dedicate that ace to? You know, it's your first one. It's a special one.
I mean,
itu spesial banget ya, saya coba bagus banget sih.
I think he's here now, right?
I'm glad you mentioned him because I think, of course, you have a lot of fans. You know, they're all here very keen to get your pictures and signatures. But I do think you can probably flex a little bit about just your fan base because it's not just these guys out here. It's FNS. I saw Tens and Kaide wearing a PRX jersey as well. So how grateful are you that all these people in the community want you to win?
Yeah, I mean, we are very thankful that we have so many fans across the world. And even yesterday, Tens and Kaide and Mel came to our place. So it's nice meeting them. Probably hopefully we do well in grand final and hopefully not second place again.
Hopefully not second place again.
As well, everyone in Toronto, as I let him sign a few more things one more time for your first grand finalist, PRX.
Take that crown, bro. Going grand final, bro. Post match interview. Next one, Fnatic lawan G2. Aduh ini nih. Berbahaya, penting berbahaya.
Red Bull gives you wings.
You might have heard I'm going through a little upgrade like tax. So when Verizon announced that everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain-free, count me in. Try and beat it. I'll give you a sec.
Singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you.
Oh fuck. Or gue sir. Okay. Almost pass from GeoGuessr. Okay. Friends. Ini di Prancis. Partnya di Paris nggak sih? Lupa gua. Salah dikit, Cok. Musi developer. Next one. Kayak pernah liatin gereja ini sih. Ini gereja ya kan? Iya nggak sih? Kalau salah maaf guys ya. What is this place, bro? Oke, tempat lokasi seperti di Eropa. Inggris kah? Oh ya ini London nggak sih? Amerika nggak sih? Tempat Spider-Man nggak sih ini, bro? Cuman gue lupa namanya, maaf ya, Cok. Let's see, ini bisa pindah nggak? Oh bisa. Oke. Cara masuknya gimana anjir? Tuh ada kuda, Cok. Nah, ini apa nih? Notre Dame de Paris, salah satu Katedrale Vivante Paris juga itu ternyata. Orange. Notre. Arrival most Orse, Musée d'Orsay. Katedral ini cuy. Banyak ya. Kita desain. Kita ada Vivante ini, cok. Kita ada Vivante. Paris luas apa gimana sih? Luas juga Paris ya. Ala Vivante, coba mana Vivante nih? X Legrentarinton Malmation Monte Cristo Citizen di Germany Inelaye UC Pavilion del Munito Levete Citi de Filete Fante ini cok. Ini gereja deh. Kayak kampus gitu nyeng. Alah, udah amat lah. Tengah-tengah Paris anjir. Oh, Cathédrale Notre-Dame de Paris, Notre-Dame de Paris. Alah. Tempat tengah-tengah banget makanya berarti. Okay, let's see what the hell is this place, bro. Can I go where again? Oh, nggak bisa, cok. Tulisannya kayak Rusia gitu, Jerman sih. Bendera? Ada bendera gak? No flag? Oke. Kenapa tuh? Ini sih, ini clue-nya di sini sih. Paksen. Lupa gue di mana nih anjing. Here? Oh, Rusia. Pergi ada STV Sunberg kata coy. Treasury gift shop. Mesir nggak sih ini udah? Udah untanya segala nih. Tapi bahasanya Treasury gift shop. Lama di dekat Jordan tuh. Oke. France, sudah pasti Prancis ngasih ini, bro. Ada bendera ini, bendera kayak tempat-tempat ininya ngasih ini nih. Banyak negara di sini ya. German or Prancis? Jerman nggak sih? Lihat tulisannya sih. Ada Starbucks, souvenir gift, bla 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 bla. Hotel Adek. Ini bagus banget anjir, sumpah. Ini bener-bener ambil tengah ya, cok. What? Itu pindah sini anjing. Oh, tempatnya tertutup. Pariser Plaza. Apa namanya nih? Lagunya mana nih? Oke. Ada tulisannya nggak nih? Gak ada anjir, namanya apa sih? Namanya apa sih ini? Berlin anjim. Oh fuck. Let's go. Masa ada lo bikin lo. Cepet banget nih orang anjir.
All of CT control. It's a solid situation for us. We're solid right now. JJ is also one away from Razor. He gets one kill, he can Razor and win the round. We're chilling. We're actually chilling right now.
Okay, Divine now. Gonna have to do work here. See if FNC does well. Divine.
My fucking goat! No, stop it! I'm gonna leave. I met this guy. We took a picture.
Just had a hell of a lot of impact.
Y'all see the picture?
Blink and you miss it. One of the quickest aces I think we've probably ever seen.
Salah satu Esther cepat dia kan.
It's just beautiful.
This, it was all going wrong.
That is just
I'm telling you.
Magic.
Chat.
Beautiful.
Chat. We were awake till 5 a.m. and I was just asking him questions. We were playing 20 questions. Look what he's doing now.
Through it.
PRX though got to stay in the ship here.
So I understand that they're down 45 right now, but theoretically it should be impossible to throw this round.
Purely on the site itself, Mike.
This should be a 9-7. So they have Vice Thorns at the choke, and then they have Omen Smoke in 10 seconds. Unless they go fast right here.
Okay, Divine now.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, whoa! Divine! Oh my god, what the fuck? How? Oh my god! What the fuck did he just do?
Blink and you miss it. One of the
Dude,
quickest
I went so crazy the pillow fell off.
Look at this. And they needed him. They needed this. It was all going
Bro, Phantom moment.
That is
Phantom moment, yeah.
Magic.
Beautiful to watch back.
How did they not throw? Bro, what?
Oh, di dia Rap clean banget anjir.
PRX though got to steady the ship here. Can still get a little bit scary. And now Juicy does have that Vandal, right? Can they play him in? The post plant is purely on the site itself, Mike. There isn't anyone sitting deep.
Well, I mean, he's got 4 sheriffs basically to rally behind here and try and make this rifle work.
Nice Juicy, come on.
Okay, Divine now. Gonna have to
Nice
do
super.
work here. See if BB does well. Divine.
What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
This man is a big player in big games.
Dia ngedukung WOL ya.
Oh my sword, that's why you need that fucking TP, because you need the TP in that spot, man.
One of the quickest aces I think we've probably ever seen.
Look at this. And they needed him. They needed this. It was all going wrong.
That is just
magic.
You just gotta get in onto the site.
Beautiful to watch back.
Every fucking
He's going through it.
Game should be given away
There's
to
no
an extent.
cringe
Obviously
in war.
You're saying
the
players
don't care about being cringe, they care only about winning? Yeah,
No.
that's the whole point of this game.
I don't
think so, man. Did he just try and teleport through this vice wall?
see
He
it.
did.
We didn't see it.
All good.
And he shot. Was that a race shot?
PRX though got to steady the ship here. Can still get a little bit scary. And now Juicy does have that Vandal, right? Can they play him in? The post plant is purely on the site itself, Mike. There isn't anyone sitting deep.
I mean, he's got 4 sheriffs basically to
the Wolves are
rally
losing. The Wolves
behind you and try
are
and make
losing.
this
They got
rifle
bonus.
work.
I don't get it.
3-0
They were
for
supposed to
PRX.
win. Wait, Juicy has Vandal though. This round is 3v5. The bomb's gonna explode. Guys, the bomb's gonna explode.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
He stood up. You stand up for that.
That you stand up for?
That you stand up for.
I stand up on the other team. I'm like, hey, well played, man.
Well played.
Hey,
You got it.
you got it.
Probably
Got it.
Look at this.
Welcome aboard.
¿Quién te ha pegado, niño?
We didn't see it.
Not looking prime.
Ese es de tu equipo, Lizor.
PRX though got to steady the ship.
Vale, papelón de Batman. Papelón.
Juicy does have that Vandal, right? Can they
Papelón.
play him in? The post plant is
El retake es complicado, te lo digo. También creo que si la Killjoy juega tarde y por lo que sea consiguen un par de kills, está perdida para Paper.
Y le logra super bagar aquí.
Cuidado porque el jugador se tiene Vandal. Cuidado con su fan. No.
La ha salvado la bala.
¡Qué
bueno! ¡Vaya ronda!
Se levantó Forsaken.
¡Vamos!
Con el AU, mira. Pero ¿sabes qué es lo peor? Bueno, lo mejor para nosotros. Que son 5 orbes. No, es una locura. Ya ha tirado el ulti la ronda anterior.
Ecofragger, vale.
Qué locura,
Ecofragger.
Ha sido clean, Muy clean, muy clean.
Hay que ir a Ascent,
Hoy viene en Prime,
Hay que ir a Ascent.
Regarde, pourquoi il pique? Regarde, pourquoi?
Ace.
Melotot langsung dia. Oh wow, that's good. Bon ami, mais ok, réel.
Et tu crois que là, n'importe quelle autre équipe, personne n'aurait fait ce qu'il vient de faire. Hein. Personne. Il aurait juste pris un kill et il serait parti. Et lui, il se dit, attends, mais sur le papier, j'ai une fantôme, j'ai full shields. Ils sont un HP. J'ai la... Et regarde, même lui, choqué. Parce qu'il se dit, c'est quoi, frérot, quand je te dis.
Ça joue.
なんかすごいところにトゲあるな。なトゲの位置すごくない？あ、フラッシュか。お、いいトゲ。
相手の封じをここからどう押し込んでいくか。
パッとね。ちょっと。
人数状況3対5。
なんかおお。
いいぜ。
強いよ。今日はダメの日か。強いよ。
強いよ、ダメでいいか。
うますぎませんか。マウスパッドもでっかくなって。
立ち回りの乗り方が絶妙でしたよ。少しずつ先頭のラインを下げながら。
強いよ。
いや、いい打ち合いで持っていきました。いや、岸さん、やはり。
If Patman gets a kill, he gets his all. And honestly, I'm not saying he's going to use it in this round, but if it gets close, it might be something. Yeah, they got great stall on this.
Okay, Divine now.
Uh-oh.
Gonna have to do work here, so you've had BB does well, Divine.
Kenapa semuanya?
Okay, it was eco, but he absolutely saved them. God, the impact he's having on attack is absolutely unbelievable.
Blink and you miss it.
Yeah, wins him a pistol, wins him this. 3v5.
Probably ever seen.
Look at this.
That's one of the fastest.
They needed this. It was all going wrong.
Susah lebih tengok sumpah susah anjir. Ngebeli langsung belakang ada orang lagi loh, suara kepala. Anjir itu gila sih.
Man, Alex is really going for it, man. He's really going for it. The 6th round from Dubai.
We didn't see it. We didn't see it.
All good.
Dando tiro. O que você tá fazendo, velho?
Anjir pakai baju Viper aja, what the fuck?
Feião.
Cara, dá pra chamar azar, dá pra ganhar até, vamos ver.
Spin já tá muito pouco tempo, não.
Mas tem orb, vem o molotov.
Oh, dibuat low ya.
Tá esquisito.
Entregando? Mais um.
Tá, vai ganhar. Tá, vai. Caralho.
beleza, mano. Caralho, velho. A torcida, cara. Que lindo.
Coba ke gue pakai baju Viper anjir. Hell bro. Siapa anjir? Dia pakai baju Viper coba tuh.
Eu vejo pela câmera, mas da hora, velho. Nossa. Papai no eco também até eu.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, you just got to see where the coin lands, right? That's
You
all it is.
absolutely do. You have to look at the battle between these leaders. Both Valen and Boaster as well have been so good strategically, so good at building up their teammates, bringing that energy to succeed on stage. But there's still such a gap in experience. When Boaster was winning trophies, Valen was bringing this team out of Tier 2, dragging them through Ascension to make it into the Americas League.
But now here they are, an opportunity for them to be able to march forward.
What the hell?
The MEA team home.
What is that, bro?
Alternatively, Fnatic can end America's hopes here and now.
Listen, we can have the best of both worlds.
Anjay, baby dance.
Fnatic wins, and since we have Crashies, you're still making it onto the lower final.
I can't.
Okay, Lotus juga pilihan pertamanya.
G2 stands, so you never know. You never know.
Hey,
I wonder what they think, GB.
You know what? Great call there. How about this?
Okay, let's see.
Toronto, who you think's gonna win? Let me know right now. We got a little bit of all over the place. All right, is it Fnatic? Is Fnatic gonna win?
Race ya, dia pakai Yoru.
What about G2? Oh, that is a reaction for G2 Esports. As they get ready for this matchup, players set up on that stage, and now it is time. Toronto, let's make some noise as we get ready for this lower bracket matchup. Here are your casters, Brent and Sancho.
Apaan sih? Di sebelahnya itu kayak apaan sih?
Excited to get back into this one here. We have two Titan teams, Josh, that are facing up on the stage.
O'Brien and Shadow.
Both looking to carve out their own spot in the history.
Wah, ini mereka berdua nih caster yang bagus juga, luar biasa, Cok. Nge-castnya aja.
Right at the beginning of our playoffs, and both of them trying to pull off the improbable, the impossible, but not for them. These are two teams with the most confidence to know that they can do it.
And two teams that you've seen make historic comebacks within maps. You only have to look to recent history for G2. You're thinking about comebacks on Icebox. Well, the team on the other side has pulled off legendary stuff themselves. This is NA versus EU. EMEA, they haven't won a trophy since Fnatic themselves won those back-to-back tournaments in 2023. And that's what the region is hunting for. These are two teams with similar styles as well, the lower bracket, with players such as Chronicle looking to continue being the winningest player of all time, Jorgamo looking to join the list, a tiny list of players who've won champs and masters, only Sassy there. There's so much rich history, but only one of these two teams is going to be able to make it through to battle Wolves in the lower bracket final.
Oh, we're going to be getting into it shortly here for our opening pistol round between these two juggernaut teams. Toronto, make some noise! Let's get loud!
And what a bold pick this is for G2 to be going into Lotus, which I would consider to be essentially home ground territory for Fnatic. It's home ground though for both squads, and G2 taking rebel control.
Okay, langsung rebel control mana?
Play at front B.
Oke, Trent gunain Teo.
Bodo
amat sama apa Teo tetap dipakai ya. Wow, Boaster, that's big. Crashers, what is spam?
G2 bodies are dropping. Not relenting though, G2 looking eager to try and take site control, but they've got a crossfire set to try and
oh shit. Coba napi, how get it? Bagaimana dia berapa dua anjir? Wow, Trent.
And just like that, in a blink of an eye, it's Fnatic now that are on the back foot.
What a plant as
well.
So that they can take
sorry guys.
They know that at least one of these players is on the flank.
Alpha is going to try and deliver shoulder to shoulder. Him and the IGL, Boaster himself wants a shot to connect. Not anticipating it. Boaster delivering. And Alpha
wow, okay. Anjay, I like the dance, Boaster.
Boaster's on his feet already, round one. You'll be seeing a lot more of that. G2 almost there, turning around a 3v5 situation, but they just couldn't quite get it done. 6 shots towards the end, a bit of a freebie there as well. That's a rough one for Jorgamo. But these shots towards the end, Alpha hit the
Boaster, cok, tiba-tiba cok, tajam dalam gitu anjir.
And then cleans things up towards the end as well.
What a dance!
He's cooking.
He's ever the showman.
I think having the fans so close at this event just spurred him on to greater showmanship heights.
Absolutely.
He does love it. He's talked in interviews as well, Boaster, about trying to just get the best possible results before he thinks about retirement. Which is mad, but he has been in the scene for such a long time, and his teams have been astoundingly successful. He's talked in this tournament actually about becoming the greatest leader of all time. I think if you made the list right now, it would have to be Boaster at the top. But he'd like another tournament here, just to properly seal the deal.
Set it in stone. We're expecting a slow and methodical game for both of these teams. Going to be taking their time with it.
Might feel like a bit of a whiplash after you've come off PRX versus Wolves.
It definitely will.
But both of these teams, they do have similar styles. Fnatic, G2, they're going to be playing to allow their opponents to plant quite a lot and make them bleed as they get into the sites.
Head not popping over towards the ledge as Chronicle holding close.
Oh, fuck.
Catches the contact for the re-swing. He's going to be traded with Alpha towards the back. The ghost in hand, and he's going to be buying time for the rest of the team to start and get in and get active.
Oh, that's hurt. Help me. Help. Oh, my God, bro. Ooh.
Whatever damage he possibly can from this spot.
He's going to clutch.
The spike in his back pocket, but no time really to work with. And Fnatic, ever the disciplined team, happy to wait it out.
Kayak would go down in one shot here. Seeing if he can bait somebody out. Ends up falling to the Outlaw of Crash. He's posted up towards spawn. So fairly clean at the end of the day. Fnatic managing to keep 3 decent bits of weaponry heading into their bonus round. And I think a lot of it's about figuring out what these setups look like. You can see little bait and switch setups. On the pistol round, we saw that B trap play, where if a lurker starts walking towards B, they get hit with a paranoia and pounced upon. G2 are just going to be trying to feel this out. Figure out what kind of game Fnatic are playing. Where does Boaster want to give a little bit of space? Where does Boaster want to tell his team to fight? This round, potential for a bit of a collapse onto Leaf if he does take that aggressive lurk timing.
Chilling for now, though. Pressure from G2 up towards B. Door's going to be opened up. That should be a bit of fear into the back of your mind.
Sharp Alpha.
To the back of the brain. Alpha, swift dismissal. Leaf needs to be careful. Getting tagged up.
Oh, no.
Still alive, though.
Back. Oh, no.
All the way out entirely. Crashy's been dropped. Jonah P, even a watchful eye. Exploration of Fnatic is getting punished here.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird push actually from Kayak. I think both players that died towards B there, Kayak and Jorgamo, probably could have played that situation better. But G2 end up slowing down the pace, hitting the brakes in a 4v3. And this allows Valen to just test out the map again. Trent still has both of these salvos to work with too. So they could play a really powerful post plant. They are set up, though, to split into B, and that's exactly where Boaster's waiting with the Stinger. They don't realize A is empty.
Boaster, close quarters here with the Stinger in hand. Util out. Unfortunate with the timing.
30 seconds.
We're going to run all over these players here. Fnatic.
Oh, satu dia buat entry, satu lagi dipakai buat
It's a nice use there from Trent of just a solo salvo into that B connector, the waterfall, in order to push back the players, and he's still got a salvo to play afterwards. G2 want to keep this clean.
Toxins going up.
All signs pointing towards it. Alpha is tepid, just tiptoeing in. Chronicle will be able to trade, but it's answered back in kind. So a round on the board now for G2.
A couple of players getting fairly close to some ultimates. Jonah P and Trent winding their way up to double initiator ults. It won't probably be online here, or if they are, it'll be in the post plant. But we've got a pretty important eco swing round coming up in round 4. Fnatic are going to go for an Odin purchase as well. Crashy's picking that one up to play it from tree. Aiming to do chip damage early on to these G2 players contesting rubble.
It's going to be a hail of bullets and lead. Sways him for a moment. Leaf is still propped up onto rubble.
I like it though. All of these sound cues are making it feel like Fnatic need to defend rubble, and instead G2 are creeping up towards B, and Kayak, he's got to defend.
Salvos pop up into the walls of door there. You blinds it as a back. Still
Blind.
G2.
Oh,
boy!
Chronicle!
You can't stand up to it.
Oh, he's very low.
Obliterates 3.
Perfect timing, even though Fnatic weren't 100% sure how that B exec was coming through. Does Crashies get caught just jiggle in the corner? If he did, it would open up the A site and make a 2v4 possible.
Missed the timing on it. Backs away anyway.
It's going to be very difficult for Valorant and Leaf to dig themselves out of this spot. Fnatic are giving them room though, giving them respect, allowing them even to get a plant off, assuming that they'll be able to win the retake with bodies and with the paranoia, with the C's, with the horn, tools that they still have to be able to work with.
Should be a clean retake indeed. Discipline still there from Fnatic. Wing it out. Jump spot of Crashies has missed the potential timing here. Just swinging
low.
Wide. Gonna take that fight towards it, but smoke into your face, Valen. Has to really just try and get a move on. Now he's on the side, some off-angle play from him, but still player advantage.
Big flash.
Is beautiful. Splits them up with just the right amount of time, but no way!
Valen do it again, bro! He's doing it again.
What a play there! But what a fumble! Too cautious from Fnatic, I think. Talked about the fact that they love playing to give their opponents respect and play the advantage in the retake. But the paranoia pushed Valen off onto an off angle and they just weren't there ready for the trade. Swung through off Alpha's contact and he only had about 6 seconds to work with. Fnatic lose a really important eco swing round here.
Yeah.
And now the ult cycle is going to start to get online for G2. Assuming they can clean up an anti-eco, Fnatic might have just lost control of this defense half early on.
Mentor swinging. Just off the back of the heroics of the captain of G2. Two of our greatest minds in the game facing off against each other.
Feels like a battle of the generations when it comes to the IGLs as well. Valen, bit of a new kid on the block compared to the experience of Boaster, but he's been fantastic. Caught out in the open again. That's twice already in the very first quarter of this map.
It's not full steam ahead from G2. There's still a level of caution. Fnatic are stacking this with a multitude of bodies. It is the eco round.
Yeah, I think the read here from Valen is perfect.
Be careful here with a puncher in the hands of Alpha. That's snappy. Quick scope straight to the head. He is taken care of though. Chronicle's still trying to at least square up. Taken by posturing him as a slight lease. Taking him the off-angle play. Crashies is highlighted. Lit up.
And Crashies dead.
There's no more. So G2 taking the lead early on here in Lotus.
That damage from Alpha, yeah, with the Marshal. It looks like Fnatic are going to need some more moments like that. What Alpha's been able to do recently in their games has been spectacular. And those are the danger moments that you need to be able to add in there. But otherwise, G2 dealt with that really quite cleanly, even though they went into the stack in the end.
What a scan.
And here's the ults that we were talking about. But Fnatic, by saving, have managed to get Kayak an operator in his hands. Looking to try to get him posted up over towards A. That's where the Odin is as well. And only Alpha defending here on C. Pushed off immediately.
Salvos.
Push
off the early line. Doors opened up. Hello, Leaf.
Kelihatan sih.
Might get an early fight sooner than he potentially anticipates. He's going to play his life, try and back the hell out of there.
Wow.
Over the shoulder, that bait and switch.
Crashies, I think, made the call to fight with Boaster and didn't realize that Leaf also had backup. In came Trent. And down went the IGL again of Fnatic, who's having a rough go of things here. They still have the lockdown to try to play retake in one of these areas, and Chronicle could actually pit off some level of contact. But it's difficult to get value out of the pit here in the mid-round when Jormo still has his dimensional drift to clear everything. But here it goes.
Yeah, using it nice and early. Just trying to spot out the most of these players. Don't know if he spotted it off. Yes, Kayak. Time to strike. Choose him well.
Nice
Chronicle. It's instinctual. The wall was up, just anticipating G2's positioning. It's G2 who are left with that player disadvantage.
And massive ultimates dropped on the side of G2. They can no longer set up a pit of their own in the post plan. So if G2 want to win this round, it's got to be proactive. I think Fnatic, they know it. Crashies and Kayak are waiting for this push.
Alice sees it. Jogmo's going to be backing away. Reclaiming the space now. There's an I4. Trying to lay claim to a lot of this towards it, but there's that up angle. A whiff from Kayak with how he's been playing.
My god.
Okay, damage kicking in. Get a TP. Balance barely out there. Trying to play the crossfire setup. Chronicle wins this fight out, and that's going to be locked down to secure. Fnatic have all the advantages here. Everything in the world going their way.
An investment of the ultimate just to make sure, just to absolutely guarantee that Fnatic are able to tie things up. It's a big recovery in this round from Fnatic. If they'd lost here in the 4v5, would have been a disaster.
Oh, itu yang buat mateng.
But Kaya gets good value out of his op, and honestly, the way that G2 were utilizing the Euro ult, Fnatic read the timings, and they just knew that people were going to start pushing up off the back of it. Chronicle has got great reads on that kind of stuff. He's been around the block. One of our most experienced and one of the greatest players of all time. You look at accomplishments.
The accolades, man.
He's already got 3 trophies. If Fnatic can somehow pull off this lower bracket run, he will just be out miles ahead of everybody else with 4.
Making a serious case for one of the greatest of all time. G2 feeling pressured into the timeout here.
And I think there's been a pretty serious shift in Fnatic's defense now that they've got the operator online. They are still finding holes over towards A early on, but what G2 are struggling with is being able to take the site without getting caught by